morning, everyone. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, Jennifer Jennings. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. It's been a wild morning for us this morning. Jeff's mom is in the hospital, so she is not doing well today. Hoping that she gets better. There's a lot going on. A lot going on in the state of Tennessee today. Pride is today, June 28th, 1970 is when I have the Pride chart created. That was the first, I want to say it was the first, what do you call it, commemoration? Is that how you spell? I don't know. Anyway, that's the chart that I've got for it, and I wanted to show you guys that this morning because there's a breakup with that today in the state of Tennessee, and I think it's worthy to talk about. Yesterday, Missouri and California was in the transits a whole lot, and so yesterday I was watching for earthquakes, and of course California was swarming, which it's not uncommon for California to swarm with earthquakes, but there was earthquakes that I was noticing that were in different places in the state of California. So I'm still on a little bit of an alert with that, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why. Also, Missouri I think that they had a 2.9 or a 3.0, something like that, and so I noticed that. But there are other things going on, right? Just because a state is in transit doesn't mean that there's going to be anything devastating. You just never know how an energy is going to work itself out. And with that energy being a destined energy, all we can do is be an observer. So today is Pride. I have the Pride chart for June 28th, 1970 at 12 p.m. in New York. That is the Pride chart that I'm going to start using. And I want to start, really seeing if this would be the correct chart for it. So far, it's looking like the state of Tennessee today. Here's the transits right now, right before I started the live at 9:22 a.m. I pulled up the transits. So I've got Tennessee on the left. I have the transits on the right. And you're not going to be able to see these degrees clearly like I can. StreamYard isn't, if I were to have saved this and put it on Canva or something and then showed you, you would be able to see the degrees like I can, but they're a little blurry. Sorry about that. But I'm going to be directing you back and forth with my cursor because the degrees in our chart, the degrees in a chart, the degrees that are transiting literally matter in the state of matter. And I prove this every day, all the time. Every day, all the time. Degrees, numbers. Numbers is the patterned universe. It's our reality. Okay. In the state of matter, these degrees matter. So with that being said, I want to show you that the state of Tennessee has a discord. They have a discord with groups. It goes against their values, especially when it comes to businesses and groups. Downtown Nashville, Centennial, there is going to be a party all day long today. And it's about pride. It's about the groups. And this 350 with Eris, the goddess of discord and strife, is an Aquarius. Well, today, all day long, Vulcanus, over here on the right, Vulcanus on the right, is in Leo. The moon is in Leo. Mercury is now in Leo. There's a lot of attention, a lot of media attention. We're going to be talking about schools. We're going to be talking about education. And we're also going to be talking about this opposition. So the opposition today is with groups. It's with publicity and groups. And this This transit is it's an all-dayer, all day. And what I want to show you is that Uranus at a 2935, it's critical for groups. It doesn't even matter if it's in the state of Tennessee, groups are critical. This is the last energetic degree of Uranus. It's about the earth. It's about money, possessions, our values, things we take ownership with. And this 2935 is going to be shaking up the TBI. We've seen this day coming, but I didn't know that today would be Pride Day. I got a phone call this morning and I realized, oh, today is Pride Day. All right. All right. So that's what we are working with today. And it's not just the state of Tennessee. There are other states that are having that today. New York, I believe, is going to be tomorrow. But today is the state of Tennessee, and there is an opposition. There is an explosion of publicity with Tennessee that is opposing the discord and strife with Eris, the goddess of war. You know, she's not the god of war. The goddess of war in astrology is a feminine, the feminine aspects, the feminine quality is Eris, the goddess of war. So when we talk about war, true warring is a feminine aspect in astrology. Good morning, Kathleen. Hope you are doing well this morning. So I find this very interesting that today, let me show you Pride's chart. I'm going to jump back and forth because I'm going to talk about Pride, and then I want to talk about Sebastian because I've been observing the energies with Sebastian for a few days now. I haven't been able to really talk about it because I've been with my granddaughter, and I've been worn out. You know, a 4-year-old has a lot of energy. So here's Pride. I've just created this chart, and I quickly notice that Pluto today at a 3:10, oh, this is tomorrow, hold on. Pluto today is the 28th, 9:22 a.m. Pluto today is at a 3:11 in Aquarius in the 6th house of health. And so there is a transformation because Pluto is about intense, deep transformation and leadership, transforming, revolutionary, right? So Pluto, this revolutionary leader for the future for Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Aquarius, that's why I say Aquarius is Aquarius is gay. Aquarius is gay. It's innovative. It's different. And just because you're an Aquarius doesn't mean that you're gay. It just means you're different. You're innovative. If you got a lot of Aquarius in your chart, you're innovative. You're different. Oh, I'm just always different. Well, you know what? You were born that way. It's okay. So the 311 in Aquarius, Pride Day that I've created this chart, Pride, Admitos, no matter what time Pride was created on this day, there's a breakup. There's a breakup with this 311. Okay, so this 311 is showing up with this chart in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, things that are hidden. And that 311 is in transit all day today with the state of Tennessee. Not with Missouri, not with New York, not with Texas, with Tennessee, okay? And so other things can be showing up with other states today as these degrees go throughout the day. Mars is in Virgo at a 622. Mars is war. Mars is warring. It would be the aspect of initiating energy having to do with health, anything having to do with health. Mars is a cardinal masculine fire energy. It's the Tower card in the tarot. It's where everything comes tumbling down. Everything comes tumbling down in need of repair, It can lead to accidents. It can be about a vehicle. And this opposition, it could be explosive. Now, I know that there was a man that was just arrested, and he was in Shelby County. He was arrested, I want to say a few days ago, last week, something like that, and he had explosives in his house, and they had to call the I don't know if it was the Army or was it Shelby County man. Let me see. Shelby County man arrested. Oh, there it is. U.S. Army. They had to call the U.S. Army. This was posted on the 27th. That's yesterday. Shelby County, Jerry Lee Clark was charged with 2 counts of possession, transportation of a unlawful manufacture. I mean, the U.S. Army had to come and remove them. Okay, so this took place on Thursday. That's when he was given a $400,000 bond, $403,000 bond. Oh, his court was the 24th. So yeah, but that's not today, right? That's not today. Who else is like him? There's too many. There's too many crazy people. Too many crazy people wanting to fix, manage, control everybody's life, right? So that's what I'm seeing today. That's what I'm seeing today, and it's my palace, the way that I investigate, my everyday investigator, Palace. She is at a 1545 in my natal chart in Scorpio. And that is where Poseidon is. Poseidon is holding this wisdom today. And then tomorrow, Kronos is going to come to that 1545, and it's about home and family. And there is a lot going on with my home and my family and Jeff's family. So there are things that I can tell just by being an observer, by being a passerby. Isn't that what Christ asked us to do? Whether he said it or not, it's written. He says, just be an observer, just be a passerby. And that's what I do. I'm just trying to observe. And that's how I learn, is through repetition of these patterns showing up and saying, okay, this is what's happening. All right, I get it. So Chiron, right before the weekend begins, Chiron right now is in Aries. It's about the head. Chiron and it's about war too. We just had, the United States just had their Chiron return. And this is a big deal because the Chiron return is about war, right? Yeah, it is. So the 2643 in Aries has just passed by Pride's 2639 with relationships. Chiron is going to be coming here with a lot of energy to the 2651. So there is a lot that I can see just with this chart alone that I've just created today. So we're going to see. I'm going to be observing this chart as well to see if I have the correct time, because 12 o'clock noon, 12 a.m., that's always a good default time when you see that there is something being created on that day. It's always a good time because then you can see the non-movers like Apollo. This 115, Apollo, that's the physician that brings enlightenment. And speaking of this physician that brings enlightenment, let me give you some enlightenment about what I've been seeing for Sebastian. And I want to also keep in mind that Pride is today, because there's going to be a lot of shakeups. There's going to be the shakeup with the TBI. Venus is going to come to the state of Tennessee. And so I want to see how all of this is going to be transpiring as we move forward, but I'm going to take you back in time. Let me take you back in time. Let me see if I can pull that up. When I don't know if anybody in this chat, all 5 of us, if you watched the Voices of Truth live last night. I did. I was in and out of the live because we were out to dinner, and then we had to go to Walmart. So I was in and out of the live. I was able to listen to some of it, and I think that I've got a handle on what I've been observing. But let me just show you. Hold on. Let me see if I have this, if I saved it, because sometimes I get in a hurry and I don't say things like I should. There it is. Okay, so in there, I'm listening. I'm at home, and they are talking about at 8:53 Nashville time, 8:53:31 p.m. Hindsight is talking, and she says something about the audio, and she's asking, why can't we hear the audio? Let's just, we want to see. We can, I mean, not the audio. We want to see Sebastian walking and taking the trash. Why can't we see that? If we can see other videos, why can't, what will it hurt if we are shown, if the public is shown that, if the last sighting is him taking the trash, can the public please see the trash? Sebastian walking to take the trash down. So that's what she is talking about here. And I save the chart. I create an event chart with this. And then I want to look at it with Sebastian's chart. That's what an astrologer does. That's what we do. This would be called a Hore chart. And it's where you take this as an event, and then you look back with a natal chart. So let's do that. So we're going to take Sebastian. We're going to look at Sebastian. He's going to be on the left. The audio, video, him taking the trash down, hindsight talking about that, is on the right. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be looking at this time period. Exactly. I make a Hore chart, and then I'll look at it. I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't even looked at it. I was saving it for this morning. Good morning, Angel, for you. I was saving it to look at it with you guys, because just saving it and looking at it, I can already tell. I can already tell certain things. And this is how we learn. This is how we learn astrology, is by looking at different event charts. If you were to get stung by a bee, if you have your phone on you, quickly take that screenshot, look at the time, because timing is everything. In a state of matter, which we are in a state of matter, timing is everything. Your birth time, that was fated. It's everything in life is about timing. It's always a perfect timing. No matter how it feels, no matter how bad it hurts, there is a timing for everything under the sun in the state of matter. Sebastian is on the left. And when I was watching the Voices of Truth live last night at 8:53:31 p.m. Nashville, Tennessee time, hindsight is talking, and she's, why can't we see this? Why can't we see the last proof of life with Sebastian taking the trash down the driveway? Why can't we see this? Because good communication makes for a good relationship, right? And if you're slacking on the communication, and then you wonder why you don't have a good relationship, that's why. Because good communication makes for a good, sometimes you just don't feel like communicating. But then you got to come back and say, you know what? Let me make this right. Let's communicate more. And then now we've got a better relationship. Now we are on the same page, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not infants here. But Craddock, the TBI, Sumner County, they just, I mean, it's the same o. Nothing. Nothing. Even when they should give a comment, nothing. How long is it going to be an active investigation? We're going to be here 5 years. Well, it's still an active investigation. We can't say anything. What a cop out. That is so, They are public servants. They work for us. So, it is what it is. This is the reason why there could definitely be a protest coming up. And I hope that there is, because I think that they need some accountability, even if not to us, to the parents, to the parents. Well, they showed Seth. I don't care. I don't care that they showed Seth. Seth didn't get to see he didn't even get to hear or see the audio of him going home. They just suck. So here we go. Here's Sebastian's physician. It's a 2642. This 2642 is exactly where Chiron is when she is talking. But let me just show you something. That 2642 is just now moved off of the 2642. It is now at the 2643. Okay. So it was there at 3:00 this morning. It was at the same degree at 3:00 this morning. It wasn't just during that time. It had been there since 5:00 p.m. yesterday. Chiron's moving slow. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, other people are being found. But you know what? We have Tabitha Tudor's decade-old case, never been solved. Martha Leanne Green, decades old, never been solved. Summer Wells, decade, and it's not even, no, 5 years? Hold on. 4 years? Hasn't been found. I mean, nothing. Nothing. Still nothing. So anyway, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that there is an opposition because Aries at a 26 degree is here. It's in Sebastian's 5th house of kids, creativity, and school. And the physician is opposing the school. It's opposing the education. It's opposing children. It's opposing the way he creates. It's opposing the physician. Apollo is the physician. Apollo brings enlightenment. If you needed a doctor, you want to go to Apollo. Apollo is, if you are having surgery, Apollo is being called in. If you're having surgery, it's more than likely that Apollo has been called in. Apollo has hit a transit. That degree has hit a transit. It's transiting. You're a physician. Your own personal physician, Apollo. The sun god, Apollo. He's a big deal. I mean, all of these in your chart, they're all a big deal to me. So there is an opposition that took place at 5:00 last night, and it went through the night. Why? Why? Because the physician that brings enlightenment here in this 11th house is in Libra. What is Libra? Libra is the justice. It's ruled by Venus. It's a masculine air cardinal energy. Rules the justice card in the tarot. It's the Levites. It's about equality, contracts, law and order. Rules the kidneys. So the physician is being opposed. And who has that 2642 besides Sebastian, you ask? Let me tell you. The TBI. The TBI. The TBI has the 2642 with the flame of life that gets reignited. There is a reigniting of a flame, and it's in Taurus. it's again, we're looking at a Venus ruled energy, but this is in Taurus, so it's the second house. The second house is Taurus, Venus. It's about money, it's about possessions, it's about things that we own, it's about evidence, right? So there's a reigniting of a flame of the evidence that the TBI has. And there is an opposition with Sebastian. Does that mean that that wasn't Sebastian? No, that's not what that means. It means that there is a possibility that that was not Sebastian. Because there is an opposition, there is an opposing force with Sebastian and the TBI, point blank, period. I mean, I'm showing you all. This isn't just something that I'm conjuring up in my head. This isn't something that I'm conjuring up in my head. This is real stuff, real stuff. And let me just show you something too, because I've been waiting to see how this was all going to play itself out. So let's look at the TBI in this audio video that Hindsight is talking about. She's talking about on the way home, right? She's talking about on the way home. There is some type of audio video that is showing Sebastian and his mother. And then allegedly there is also this other grainy ass video from a ring cam that is showing Sebastian walking the trash down after they get home from the Texas Roadhouse that nobody has seen, that nobody really knows if that's really him or not. Okay. So during this time period, let me just tell you what was happening. So the flame of life at a 604, Mars at a 604, both of them are at the same degree. I would say that one of them women may have that degree in their chart. But before that, as soon as this transit began with Sebastian at the 2642, what was happening is Mars was at the TBI's degree of the 559. It's their lowest point with public attention and video with groups. Mars, Mars is in Virgo. So Mars is actually here in the fifth house of kids, creativity. But Mars was here at this degree, making contact. And there was an expression that was taking place and it was coming in the future. The future video was with Hindsight, with Voices of Truth. Those women. The TBI, this 2642, is where they are pained. There's a lot of warring with it. That's in an opposition with Sebastian. And the TBI has this reigniting of a flame with the evidence. Because it's about things that they have in their possession. That's things of possession. And you see Venus at a 2249. Well, me and Seth have the 2248. It's a destiny with Venus during this period of time. And the 22 in Taurus, Venus is in her same sign. She's loving it here. She's feeling really comfy and she's loving it. And she is calling on the TBI's Venus at a 2238. She was quickly moving. This was all taking place yesterday before the video even began, before they even started their live. The Venus at a 2238, this was a return Venus. It happens every year and a half, 2 years. And it's about things of the past. Things of the past with evidence. And the Justice at 1110, Astria here, she's in Sag, but hey, she had just went over the TBI's Chiron. It's about the evidence. It's about the past evidence with the TBI. Sure enough. That's exactly what took place. So we have evidence that is going against Sebastian with the TBI. And what's going to happen is, whether this is going to have to do with Sebastian or not, Uranus is coming. Uranus is coming to Vulcan at a 2938. TBI has a 2938 in their chart, and the 11th house of groups how they bring in money, prisons, hospitals, endings, acceptance, things like that. This 2938, God's will is being done, and there is going to be a shakeup, abrupt shakeup with the TBI. Is coming tomorrow morning. And I'm hoping that it's not going to have to do with this pride parade today. I'm hoping that because last night during their live, I was also seeing that there was an opposition with Summer Wells. I have been watching the Summer Wells, Layla Santinello, Sebastian Case this weekend. So it could have anything, it can have something to do with them as well. That's coming. The other thing that I noticed too in this chart, okay, when they were talking about this last night, and I'm just going to show his chart. At this point, I could care, I really could care less. Good morning, Hope. Let's look at Michael Proudfoot. I've got several, I don't know what time he's born. Not sure that this is exact birthday, but I'm thinking it is. I'm a pretty good investigator when it comes to finding what I'm looking for. Just haven't found Sebastian yet. And that's depressing. No doubt about it. It's depressing. So Michael Proudfoot, this is one of my charts for him at 8:21 a.m. But you know what? No matter what time he's born, he has a transformation. No matter what time Michael Proudfoot is born, on March 19th, 1962, he has a transformation with publicity and children. No matter what time he's born. No matter what time he's born, he has a magnetism with health in Virgo and work in Virgo, the 342. So let's look at this chart. So we have a 342 right here. There's a transformation, and it's a 24-hour transit. It goes to the state of California. Michael Proudfoot, California, was in transit last night. All day yesterday. There was a transformation of health. What took place in California yesterday, you can Google it. You can see Newsom all in the news. So that is what was taking place yesterday. All day, even last night. And the other thing is that this dark moon at a 1021 in Scorpio, in the 9th house of higher learning, the courts, the 1021 is being expressed. And so do you think that he had disordered aggression about the investigation and who was really walking the trash down? Of course he did. Of course you do. I mean, of course. He definitely was. I've been an observer long enough, I can tell you. Of course he was. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Zero. And I could show you Craddock's chart. I could show you everybody. And wow, yeah. But it would take way too long. And just know that I'm seeing it. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He was in transit all day. All day while there is an opposing force and a reigniting of a flame of life with the TBI. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not making it up. I can't make it up. Even if I tried, I couldn't make it up. Let's go back to Sebastian's chart, because there's something else that I saw with this chart, with hindsight talking about this. Again, this is like a Hore chart. So I'm hearing it and everything, and I want to compare it with Sebastian. And so I create an event. Would be an event chart. This is a Hore chart. This is what I'm looking to investigate with Sebastian, because this is what she's talking about, and I capture it like a photo. So the other thing that I notice is that Sebastian here in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships, He has Pallas at a 1200 in Gemini. This right here is about his relationships and partnerships with evidence, with the way he descends with evidence and ring cameras, with two people, with communications, with lights, right? Right. So the health factor is here. There is an investigation here. There is, any time you look at your chart, the seventh house is always going to oppose your ego. It's going to oppose you. All relationships do. It's just not Sebastian. It's all relationships. As soon as you let go of that ego, you have relationships. Well, for Sebastian, his relationships are 2656 in Taurus, and then they go into nothing but Gemini. Have you received an update yet?
No.
So this 1200 Pallas is an investigator. She likes to investigate. She will wow you. And for Sebastian, the investigation, the things that make him go, wow, okay, with communications and two people, that 1200 was in transit in the fifth house of kids, in the fifth house of creativity at a 1200 with Hygeia. Hygeia is about health. She is about world health. And this is about world health with Sebastian, with the ring camera, with the evidence that the TBI has in possession. And it's opposing the enlightenment with Sebastian last night, and through 4 o'clock this morning or 5 o'clock this morning. And do you see that it's leading with the 432? It's leading. So we can even look at the outer wheel, y'all. You can even, when you do a Hore chart, you're looking at everything. We can even look at the outer wheel. And there is a 432 that is going in the fifth house of creativity. There is a 432 in Sag that is going into the 11th house of groups. That's us, with a higher learning, quick movement of travel, the traveling, and the ring camera. The 432 is in Sebastian's chart. There's a timing. There is a timing with it. And guess what? Guess what? This timing is about to be expanded with Jupiter. Jupiter right now, during this period of time last night, was at a 409 in Cancer. Jupiter is going to come and expand Kronos with this timing. Kronos is the big dog. And if you don't know anything about Greek mythology, then you may not have even heard these names before. These are ancient glyphs of behavior. That's all I'm reading, is just glyphs of behavior. But I'm also concentrating on the numbers, because numbers create our fabric, the universe of matter. Yesterday, the day before, see, this is already the group at a 2933. See, these groups, these videos that you've been watching this week, there was even a shakeup with Venus. It's just, y'all, I'm telling you, there is a there is a reason for everything under the sun. There is no coincidences. There's no this is going to show us more and more as these transits, because what is coming with Sebastian and what is coming with Sebastian with a relationship has only just begun. There is a lot of intensity that I've been talking about for months that is coming the end of June into July. It's big. And the things that are coming for Chris and Katie, I don't know that their relationship's even going to survive. I mean, it's not like they had a great relationship anyway. I mean, they've been playing house for the last year. But there's things that are coming for Little Faith. There's things that are coming for them that I can see as I play the tape through. So here it is that we see that there is a shakeup with Sebastian and relationships about two people, communications, and the walking to the trash, right? The Hygeia at a 12. Hygeia has already come to the 1050. And then now she's making contact, and she was sitting there, just sitting here on top of his palace. Well, the software, it talks about destructive energy with destructive and with two people, with the communications. It talks about being in a she's a shaker. She will shake things up with your intellectual thinking and communications, and the breath with two people is what he is dealing with here. It's about counseling. It's about being a writer, being adept with both the written and spoken language. And he would definitely, I could definitely see him getting that from his father for sure. But nevertheless, she's sitting there last night. Now, the other thing that I see coming is here. So Sebastian at the 840, there's wisdom here that is hidden. There's his hidden wisdom at an 840. This is about the trash. This is about the pond. It's about murky water. It's about the investigation with Sebastian's case. This 840, you see Cupid here on the right, this chart at an 841 Cupid. It's about the desires with the law enforcement, with authority, with the father, with structure, with responsibility, with accountability. Accountability is Capricorn. It's about the work, doing the work. This 841 is in retrograde. That means it's coming to an 840. Is it at an 840 yet? Let's look. Let's look. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let me stop it here. And now we're going to look at Sebastian's chart, because there's another Hawaii chart that we've just created right here. Right here. Jupiter is now at a 416. Jupiter is now at a 416 in Cancer. And what's happening is Jupiter is opposing Cupid, the sun, the values of the state of Tennessee, about the things that are hidden with the investigation and the expansion with Chris, the work, where he went. This Jupiter is expanding the Saturn of Chris Proudfoot. I've already played the tape through. There's an expansion here with the law. And Jupiter being conjunct. This is what they would call the Cazimi. This is where things are happening with the sun and Jupiter, making an expansion with the law enforcement, expanding, going far with immigration, right? So Jupiter, if we look at the aspect, let's see. Opposition Cupid. It's opposing. It's opposing. So Jupiter is going to come here and expand Chronos with an opposition, but it's not opposing it just yet. When Jupiter gets to that 432, I'm going to play the tape through and we're going to see what the chart looks like. But I'm just letting you know that there is an opposition already with Sebastian's desire for his father, for the public, for his relationships and partnerships with the communications and the ring camera. And it all is going back to the TBI. This is not going back to just Eric Craddock. Now, Eric Craddock is definitely showing up in the transits. But the TBI is the lead. It looks like the TBI is holding the evidence. They know. They have it. So today, all day long, okay, because Cupid is a 24-hour transit, y'all. All day long, even though it's not in the sign of Scorpio, we are making contact. There is an expression all day today about the desires for Sebastian. It's not hitting my chart. This wisdom that Sebastian is holding about the past isn't with me. It's with Sebastian. It's making contact with him all day long today. It's about hidden sex, other people's money, investigation, death, rebirth, regeneration, revolutionary, transformative, all things having to do with Pluto, with that 8th house. The 8th house is a desire house too. In the tarot, it's the Judgment card. It's the house of Dan in the Bible. It's a feminine water fixed energy. So there is a lot of fixation here with the trash, with the pond, with the investigation, with that trash being walked down. And the TBI is connected to Sebastian here. The TBI is also, the TBI is connected to Sebastian in a major way. So I'm looking for the TBI, not just Craddock, not just Sumner County. I'm looking for the TBI to do something different. Whether it's with the public or not, bring Sebastian home. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, y'all. So here we are. We've got the media, all the attention on school, the boy, all the attention is here in Leo. The moon has already crossed Eric Craddock's moon. The moon has already come over the lowest point of the TBI. We can see that there is things that are definitely in transit that need to be talked about. But the major one is the opposition with the physician that brings enlightenment about the trash, the evidence with the TBI, and the wisdom that's going to be in transit for the next 24 hours with the authority. And there are desires that are opposing Jupiter. So let's look at Jupiter at the 432, because I want to see if this is going to come into the same time period as the TBI being shaken up by we the people. Because we the people is also, Uranus is different. Uranus is innovative. Uranus is gay. And there is a critical time period right now for all things having to do with networking, with the electromagnetic field of the earth, with the earth, period. This is a critical time that we're going through. And this is not just about me and Sebastian and the TBI and y'all. This is about the world and the earth's resources, the electromagnetic field of the earth. This is a time period to be really watching what the sun is doing, the literal sun and the, our solar system here. So Vulcan is going to come over the 432 first. So God's will is going to be done here. There's going to be a finale with this on Sunday. So that's what's going to happen first. It's going to be over the 432. But for, we can even take the 429 and we can say, well, Sebastian's moon is a 428, right? His moon it's about accidents. It's about things that take place at home with his mom wanting to be independent of him. It's about the head. And the 428 is already going to be expanded, even though it's not in Aries. It's going to make an impression. So we're going to see that this weekend, right? We're going to see that. We can see that Sunday when we wake up, there's still a lot of attention that's opposing the state of Tennessee. Lots of attention that's opposing the state of Tennessee. At this 432, God's will is being done. Jupiter is about to expand the Chronos. Just hasn't just yet, but we're seeing things that are taking place on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, when this takes place, I feel like we are reflecting pride. We're reflecting on the health things that would take place today. Because the TBI, they're being shaken up. There's a lot of information that's coming into the state of Tennessee right here. So with Venus, hold on, let me get there. 24, 28. There it is right here. This is also found in Summer Wells' chart. So we can't say that this wouldn't have anything to do with pride. This wouldn't have anything to do with summer, but it could also have to do with Sebastian. Yep. Because what's just happened is Jupiter has just expanded communications with Summer Wells. That took place yesterday morning. It took place yesterday morning. It was a weight of hell, just a huge weight that came over Summer with the law enforcement yesterday. So I don't know if there's, if Sherfy Jr. in jail, if he's talking, I don't know, because I see him in the transits as well. And I keep hoping, but nothing ever has, just nothing is coming out of it. But anyway, this is the state of Tennessee. It's about the health for Tennessee. There's a shakeup with the TBI, with groups and their public image. This takes place in the morning at 9:15. So now I want to expand the Chronos, the devouring energy of home and things that are hidden with the investigation with Sebastian at a 432. And that's going to take place tomorrow. Let me get it to the exact minute. And I'm going to show y'all something that I'm contemplating here, because it doesn't look like things are going to be going well for the Proudfoots, for the Bowersox, for TBI in Sumner County as we move forward with this energy, because this dark moon is going to be opposing Chris. The dark moon is going to not just oppose Chris, but it's also coming to oppose the leadership of Craddock. Who would have thought it, right? Who would think that? But the other thing that I'm seeing too is that there is a huge weight when it comes to Faith, Sebastian's stepsister. There's a huge weight that is going to come over Michael Proudfoot. There's a lot that I'm seeing happening. And there's so much that I see in these charts here lately that I can barely even talk about it, because there's too much, and I'm flip-flopping back and forth because that's where my mind is taking me. Like, I can see that Mars is coming to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. I can see that Mars is coming to Don Wells. All the while, I see that Mercury is going to be coming to that 350. It's going to be opposing the state of Tennessee. That's the media. Media could also be about a little boy. Mercury is that little boy. Venus is the little girl. Mercury is also the media. This 1411, though, is Faith. There's a huge weight that is coming over her. And it's a 24-hour transit. And it's the weight of home. Her mom's in New Mexico, right? Last time I checked, her mom was in New Mexico. So is something going to take place in New Mexico? Is she going to be going home? Is she missing home? Is she missing her mother? Is something going on with her? Because I can tell you one thing, it won't be long, June 29th, and there is a physician that is going to be coming over her. Is she okay? There is a disordered aggression when it comes to Chris. There is a lot that I'm seeing with this expansion of the timing with Jupiter and the Chronos with Sebastian. This is going to expand the 8th house with him and the law. This is Sunday, 1:15 p.m. We may not see it. We may not hear about it, but it's happening. I promise you. The 2938, we're still being shaken up. This is in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, hidden sex, the investigative house, the revolutionary house. The 2938 is being shaken up with the TBI. It's abrupt. There's a timing here with Sebastian. There's a timing here. A lot of energy is going to Seth tomorrow afternoon. And the darkness, this disordered aggression, is opposing Chris Proudfoot. It's opposing Eric Craddock. And look at this 615, this Vesta in Scorpio, the 615 is coming to the 618. It's going to reignite a flame with the desires of the investigation with the TBI. What is going on with the TBI tomorrow? I have no idea. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing with Sebastian and his sister and his step-grandfather, Michael Proudfoot. But then this physician, the physician is going to bring a weight over faith. Is she going to be sick? Does she need a doctor? Does she need counseling? What is it? Let me get it to the exact timing, because as an astrologer, timing is everything. So let me get that physician to an exact timing, because I know Faith's birth time. I'm not going to show that out of respect for Faith and her mother and Sebastian and her age. Well, definitely don't want to do that. But you see the 618, the 1035, this is Eric Craddock. He is being opposed with the flame of life with the TBI here at a 618. And here's Apollo, the physician, at a 543. And I'm trying to make it come to that 542, and then I'm going to stop it, because that is exactly when it's already an orb here. Let me just make that clear. Before it gets to the 542, it's already an orb. It's already hitting her. She's already feeling it. And so I'm concerned about Faith. This is Sunday evening, late Sunday night. Late Sunday night. Is she at home? Is she with her mom? Is she wanting her mom? Is she crying for her mom? Like, I could cry right now thinking about it. I could cry right now thinking about it. The sun is now shining at the 840, and it's opposing Cupid, right? The 840, remember, in Sebastian's chart, is the wisdom of the things that are hidden with the trash, with the pond, with the investigation, with the evidence. And there is a weight on her. And it's a 24-hour transit. So let's look and see if it's a 24 or a 48-hour transit, because the physician is in Scorpio. Her Hades is in Cancer at a 542. Let me just say that Eric Craddock, he has his Jupiter at a 542. Eric Craddock is being opposed. Other people's money, things that are hidden sex, things that are hidden, other people's money. And look at this. There is a lot of energy now. Ceres is bringing a lot of energy to that 12 degree that we were just talking about that's in Sebastian's chart in the 7th house with Pallas at a 12 degree. These are cycling. This is about him taking out the trash. This is about the knee deep in the pond. This is about Chris supposedly being at work. How is it that he is an expert on everything and his ass wasn't even there? Hadn't been there but one time over the month. How does he know anything if he hasn't been at home? He's an expert on everything while his wife is just, come on, man. Y'all are Navy people. Y'all are Navy people. And so is Eric Craddock. Eric Craddock is also Mr. Navy. This Mercury is showing up in the 5th house of kids and creativity and how we create. This 411, the Mercury is going to be coming across the Saturn of Chris Proudfoot. I mean, it is what it is. There has just been a divine justice at a 1050 that is opposing Sebastian. The justice is opposing Sebastian. That means that the courts, the DA, the judge, it's opposing Sebastian. And the 1050 is now at a 1049. The 1050 is Ohio. There is an Ohio signature, so we'll see things going on with Ohio, with the justice at this time period too. Sunday evening, we'll see that. We'll hear about it in the news. You can look at it Sunday night, make yourself a mental note. Sunday night, what's happening in Ohio? What can we tell? Things are going to be shaken up Sunday night with Israel, with Missouri, with Russia. Check it. Mark it on your calendar. Tell yourself, this is what Jennifer said. Is it going to come true? It's not because I'm psychic. It's definitely not because I'm psychic. I'm just reading a chart. I'm just reading expressions of energy. There is a reigniting of a flame. The 618 in Scorpio is hitting the TBI. Let me show you. This 2934, well, that goes to California. We can even look at the outer wheel and try to get some type of clue here. TBI, June 29th. TBI is on the left. June 29th. Look at that. It's going to shake up my sun. The way that I shine, I'm going to be shaken up. I'm going to get a little investigative energy here. I should be asleep Sunday night at this time. But it's coming in the future. So if I'm asleep at this time, it's coming in the future. I could be having a dream. I could be having a vision at this time, waking up with something. Because Pallas can do that. I've seen it happen. I've been a witness to it. I got plenty of event charts that show that. So this is a visionary shakeup with my sun and how I shine with groups in Pisces about God and spirituality and all that good jazzy junk. 2355. That is also found in South Carolina's chart. South Carolina is going to get a shakeup from the past during this time period as well. I've only lived one other place in my whole life besides Nashville, Tennessee, and that was in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So South Carolina is also found in this chart. So I see South Carolina. I mean, other states could be, I just don't know. But what I do know is South Carolina, TBI, California, Missouri, and Ohio. Could be other countries, There's a lot happening with the FBI. Remember I said that there was going to be a lot taking place with the FBI? All you got to do is Google it. Google what's happening with the FBI right now. And it's only just begun. It's only just begun with the FBI and the warring that is coming with the FBI. I mean, you just can't make it up. I can't make this stuff up. But yeah, Missouri is going to be shaken up. And so is Israel and Russia. They just found a missing FEMA worker in Missouri. There you go. There is definitely going to be a shakeup. There's going to be more to come. More to come. Because it hasn't even hit them yet. It hasn't even hit them yet. The TBI is going to be shaken up, though. There's definitely a shaken up with groups. We want to see it. We want to see it, TBI. Eric Craddock, he's got a lot coming for him. A lot of opposing forces. So does Chris. But my main concern, other than finding Sebastian, is she okay? Is she okay? There is a huge weight that's going to come over her on the 29th on Faith. Let me show you. Let me see. So we're going to look at this energy here. Where is it at? Oh, where did I see it? 542, because there is a connection here with Eric Craddock and his Jupiter with Faith. Eric Craddock has a connection with Faith. That connection is showing there is a physician, there's enlightenment about the investigation. Okay, so this is going to take place. This begins with the TBI and Faith, the evening of Sunday, June 29th. That's tomorrow night. Let's look. I'm going to do days. Okay, so we're going to look at it. This is going to come up tomorrow. Monday evening. Look, this physician is a 24-hour. So we're seeing that it's a 24-hour transit. So even Monday night, this is going to be all day on Monday. Is she missing home? Is she at home? What's happening? Is she okay? Because this is about her mom. This is New Mexico. New Mexico is her home. That's where her mom is. It's all about the mom. It's about emotions. Cancerian energy that she has with this physician that's about investigation is it's going to weigh her down emotionally. She's going to be, if she's not at home yet, she's going to be missing her mommy. And are they going to make fun of, what are they going to do? Are they going to, you just never know about people. And maybe she won't show any signs of it. Maybe they won't know. I don't know, because I'm not with her. I have no idea. So this is a 24-hour. Now let's keep going. Now, July 1st, it's still there. So Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. This isn't just on Faith. The physician is being called in with Eric Craddock. You see what I'm saying? There is a lot taking place in California on Tuesday. Tuesday evening, there is a lot that's taking place. There's a big shakeup with California. There is a weight now over the TBI in Alabama and anyone else that shares that 1414 with the TBI. Weight, lots of weight. We're reflecting on Israel. We are reflecting on Mexico, the law, the health. There's a lot of transformation here with Israel and Mexico and Donald Trump. Major health factor. There's a lot that is happening here. A lot of disordered aggression when it comes to Sebastian and the groups and the trash being taken out. with the communications with those two people that we know is two people. That's all we know. There's two people that Sebastian has descended with. And those two people, there's a lot of disordered aggression that he has come Tuesday night with them. But it's also shaken up. There's a lot of shakeup with the law, the laws, something lawful with California. Is there going to be an earthquake? I don't know. I don't know how all of this is going to work itself out. I'm going to be an observer, though. I can guarantee that. I know that my values at home are going to be expanded by Jupiter. So I'm going to be probably talking a lot about my values and home and family. The state of Tennessee, the United States, the World Health is going to be a conversation piece Tuesday night, late Tuesday night as well. Now let's keep going. Let's see if this physician is still on her and Eric Craddock, on Faith and Eric Craddock. This Jupiter, there's an expansion with the surgeon, with the enlightenment. Eric Craddock. I mean, not that he cares. Not that he cares. He didn't even have to be voted in. He just took it. He just took it from a deceased man. He didn't really, you could say, well, he earned it. No, did he? I don't know. July 2nd, it's still on her. The physician, Apollo, is still on Faith. It's still on Eric Craddock. And here we are. We've went from the 29th to July 2nd. I don't like that. I hope that she's going to be doing okay. I wish I could talk to her mom. I mean, Chris and Katie, they don't talk to me, but if they did, I would be like, hey, y'all need to really observe her, comfort her, whatever is happening during these days. Why is it days? This is happening for days. And no, it's not in the same sign, but look, this is showing the state of Tennessee's Pluto. Tennessee's Pluto at a 1055. There's a darkness. There's a disordered aggression here with the state of Tennessee. Are we going to, what is happening? If she's here, are we going to have an earthquake? Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what's happening. But I can tell you that July 2nd is a big day for me to learn even more because my Jupiter is going to be expanded. I see a lot of expansion here. And the 2948, now we're looking again, and we see that there is going to be a shakeup big time, even bigger with California is coming. It's coming at 2950. The 2950 is a flame of life, Vesta, that Sebastian shares this degree with the state of California. I also see Hawaii and the Netherlands in this too, but nevertheless, let me keep going. 2948. Let's go ahead and put it to the 2950 and see if the physician is still there at the 542. This is California and a shakeup with the flame of life with Sebastian. This is July 3rd, 11:40 a.m. The physician is still here at the 542. Now we are reflecting justice. Now we are reflecting justice, and I can see that Mars at a 920 is coming to Sebastian's 931 series that he has in his chart. Oh, yeah. The sun is now shining in Cancer at the 12th degree that we've been talking about since I started talking about Sebastian. And look, let's look at Sebastian's chart here. Oh, God, there's so much happening here. Sebastian. And like I said, a month, 2 months ago, the end of July, I showed this already. I've showed it until I'm blue in the face. And it's like, God, I hate to keep talking about the same thing. But now we can see it. Now we can see it. We can see it in hindsight. That's bringing a lot of wisdom about Sebastian's case, because we can see this opposition that's taken place with Sebastian and the physician. And that physician for him is the TBI, the doctor that brings enlightenment through justice is the TBI. So we are reliant. Sebastian is reliant on the TBI, but there is an opposition, right? The physician is weighing Faith down for days. We can see that this flame of life with Vesta at a 646 is going to come and sit here. It's going to reignite a flame. We're going to be talking about it again. Hey, TBI. Hey, y'all. Can we please get some assistance here? Can we please get some assistance? The 2950 that Sebastian has in his chart, the chart that's going to be shaken up that connects to the state of California, there's the flame of life with education, with the way that he creates. It's a lot of warring here. It's a lot of initiating energy. There's a lot happening here. Excuse me. And it takes a lot of courage, you know. Mars is also about courage. It takes a lot of courage. It would take a lot of courage to go to a different state, different school, different, everything different. I mean, this is a lot to take in for a Sagittarius. It's a lot to take in, but you know, luckily Sagittarius is mutable, so it's always changing. It's forever changing. It's going here, it's going there. It's always changing and doing different things. But the 2656, 2658, that is where the 2650 is coming to. And let me tell you, who else owns this 2650? You heard it first here. And if you have ever watched my lives and you remember the 2650, you know that it goes to the neighbor across the street who has the Ring camera. Sebastian taking the trash down to the street. It's him. It's him. He has the 2650. He's wounded. He's pained. He's wounded here. Why? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? If you do, say yes. If you don't, say no. The dude that owns the Ring camera. Whereas we are talking about, can we see that footage of Sebastian taking the trash? Can we see it? That dude, that neighbor that owns that camera, I can promise you I've done found his birthday. And it's a non-mover. It's a 2650 that he has in his chart. And if he would ever listen to this, look up your chart, buddy. Look for that 2650 because you're going to be wounded. You're going to be in a pain. There is a pain. There's a wound here. And there's a shakeup with Sebastian's flame of life with groups and the video with groups, with us, we the people. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. So what else I see after this pain, this wound that is coming? Mr. Chris Proudfoot, all of his problems, all the problems that Chris has is going to be transformed with a lot of revolutionary energy. All of his problems are 304, and that's where Pluto is coming to. I've already played the tape through. I think one of my last lives, I played the tape through the end of August. Now, here's what I'm going to show you now. The 920, that's Sebastian's, the Mars at a 920. Mars is coming here. But let's look at the lunar nodes. Let's look at the lunar nodes, because we need to take a step back and look at the lunar nodes of fate. The fate with the lunar nodes at a 2146. The south node, it's where we've been before with the past investigation here, the 2146 in Virgo. The north node is a 2146 in Pisces here in the sixth house of health and the everyday. This 2146 has already touched the 2148, and the lunar nodes are making their way to the south node of the 2113 of the Saturn, the slowing Sebastian down with his public image, slowing it down with work, slowing it down with his father. This, or a father figure, work, agriculture, farming. Is he on a farm somewhere? Is he, if he's alive, is he on a farm somewhere? If he is deceased, he's going to be close to that house. Okay. He's going to be very close to that house. I've said it. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So this 931, there's going to be a lot of energy. This is like directed energy. I could lay hands on you and say I'm a Reiki healer, and that is Ceres. Ceres is also about farming. Ceres is also about religion, church. So we're going to get that Mars here eventually, but I want you to see this outer wheel, the 2904 in Leo. It's right here. It's where all kinds of transformation takes place with churches, with long travels, places he's been before. School, public attention, right? Right. So the lunar nodes are going to be making their way here. But before they do, the lunar nodes are going to come down to a 2144, and that is the magnetism with Chris Proudfoot. It's his connection with the FBI. So his connection with the FBI, no matter what time he's born, he has the magnetism at a 2144. That's where the FBI is wounded. They are pained when it comes to groups, with we the people, with video. That's coming. That's coming. It's just a matter of time. And we have to play. All of these energies have to go around the wheel, and then the little puppets, us, we're going to play the role. The life, the world. This is our theater. We're playing a role. Playing a role here. Venus at a 22 today, 23 today. She's going to come to this breakup. There's going to be a breakup. The 2439, there's going to be a breakup with the evidence. There's going to be something of evidentiary value, because Venus is going to come and sit here. Then Venus is going to come and sit here. And that goes to when Venus comes to this 2656 and sits here during this time period before, from today to July 3rd, this is all going to be taking place with Sebastian. And when Venus comes and sits here, then Venus is going to come sit here. This is a Maryland. We'll see things taking place in Maryland as well with their ascendant. Venus is going to sit on Maryland's ascendant, but it's going to sit on Sebastian's descendant. Lots to take place. All the while, Craddock, Faith, for days, is going to have the enlightenment about the trash, about the pond, about the investigation, the things that are hidden. And then Chris is going to be transformed. All his problems with the communications, about the Ring camera. And again, that 2650 all day, every day is going to the dude that owns that evidence that we are asking to see, to get clarity on it. If Seth says, hey, it was a grainy video, I couldn't really tell, then clear it up and show the father at least. Give him that. It's been too long. Give him a bone. Give him something to go on, to have hope that his son at least made it home. And if they can't do that, if they can't clear it up, let's get it to somebody that can. So that's what I'm seeing, is that this is all taking place. And then I want to get this Mars at a 928 Junie. So here we are. I'm not even looking at the aspects just yet. It's just, I'm taking it all in by the degrees first, because they literally matter in the state of matter. And this Mars is going to come and sit here. I want to show that the 931, Mars at a 931. Let's get it back here. The opposition with the physician last night with Sebastian has led to what is coming. This is going to take place. Let me get it the exact moment, because this is going to happen first before the lunar nodes of fate come to Chris Proudfoot and his connection to the FBI. And the FBI is definitely going to be fated. But are they going to take advantage of this fate with Chris? Look, the physician is still there with Faith and Eric Craddock. The physician is still at a 542. The flame of life has already went over the outer will of Sebastian at a 648. There's a divine justice here with me. I'm going to receive information. This is Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. I'm going to receive information during this time. The 151, I would say that that's probably, Chris and his family. Now we have there is a major problem with the FBI. A lot of warring with the FBI with Mr. Bowersox, Snaggletooth Bowersox. He is going to be having a lot of warring with the FBI and where they descend with relationships. And there it is, the 304. Well, there it is. It's going to be a 24-hour transit on July 3rd, beginning the evening, going through all day on Friday with Chris. He's going to have major problems with we the people. All of his problems are coming to the forefront. He's going to be spitting nails. If he's got any teeth or false teeth, he's going to be spitting teeth. There is a lot of energy here. Lots of energy, a lot of initiating cardinal energy, a lot of warring, a lot of courage that has taken place here. In the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration of people's money, things that are hidden. This 1631 is showing up in the outer will. We're about to look at Sebastian's chart one more time. So I'm going to show you the flame of life that he has, this shake up with California. It's happening here. The pain that Chris and Katie and the lunar nodes of fate with Eric Craddock. There's the world health. There's a lot of communications here. Lots of communications happening with the law enforcement, with Eric Craddock and them, whether they are talking, whatever it's happening with all three of them, because they have that degree in their chart. I'm telling you. The pain has now moved off of Mr. Neighbor that's got the Ring camera. is July 3rd. Lots of energy here. Jupiter is expanding out of 530. 537 is the state of Tennessee's media and communications. We haven't gotten there yet. Haven't gotten there yet. The other thing that I want to make sure that I talk about today as I look at this transit, I'm thinking, let me say this because I'm going to come back to it. I'm thinking that I need to show you this too as well, because I did not go over this, that is taking place today with Sebastian. And it's an all-dayer. So all day, you know, we've got pride. We got pride going on all day today in the state of Tennessee. And there's an opposition with the state of Tennessee and their values with pride today. Okay. It's a 24-hour transit. It's going to be taking place until in the morning. Around 9 o'clock in the morning is when this 350 is going to let off and go into a 351 and let off the state of Tennessee. But for the next 24 hours, the state of Tennessee is going to be opposed. There's a lot of warring with pride today. But even though this 350 is in the public eye, about schools, education, children, this 350 is Sebastian's outer wheel. It's bringing a lot of attention, an emotional explosion of attention. It's explosive. See, Vulcanus looks like a volcano. So it's explosive. It's fiery. To the trash, to the investigation, and the evidence. Of his health, of the flame of life. That is happening all day today. And it began. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at the audio. Well, hindsight, the Voices of Truth was talking about this last night. You can see the Vulcanus at the 7th house of relationships is at a 349. It hasn't made it to the state of Tennessee just yet. Hadn't made it to the state of Tennessee just yet. No. It took place, it started this morning around 4:30 a.m. And around 4:30 a.m. is when it started. And look at that. Boom. This 2642 that was opposing the Chiron, that's opposing the position of Sebastian Rogers, is in the 11th house of groups. So the people that didn't watch it last night, ooh, they're watching it this morning. Getting more views on that. Saturn, like I said days ago, Saturn has been upon Kathy Bowersox. Saturn has been on Kathy Bowersox and her connection with the FBI. Kathy and her husband have connections with the FBI that are not, I don't even know. I don't even have to know what time they are born. I just know. They have the connection. And her connection is with their partnerships, the FBI's partnerships. His Mr. Bowersox, his connection to the FBI is where they descend with relationships. This 350 began with the state of Tennessee with a shakeup with the past groups in California. California has this 2934 in their chart times 2. It's a big deal. They could be looking at a lot of fires that took place last night, overnight in California. I don't know. I see a lot of things going on in the world, though, with Israel and China. They're trading. I see a lot of problems going on with the FBI and the treason that has taken place. The FBI, the CIA, they're all owned. Who has the pockets? Who has the pockets that are filling up? It's all about that money, honey. And it's not just with the FBI. It's not just with the CIA. It's not just with the TBI. It's also with Sumner County, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because you need to look no further. You need to look no further than the Grant Solomon case. That's the weirdest case, too. But check this out. During this time period, that 350 begins with Sebastian in the state of Tennessee, California, Saturn with Miss Bowersox and all of this. 606, there's a flame of life that is reignited with who? Who? U.S. Marshals. The Marshals. This 1023 is Chris Proudfoot all day long. He's got disordered aggression about the investigation, about the law, about the justice. I can see it all right here. Numbers. Numbers in astrology tell us so much. It tells us so much. The universe is built upon number. The numbers. Numbers. Why are numbers so important? Why would the degrees in our chart literally matter in the state of matter? Numbers and the universe. Use it. Use it. If you don't know why I would constantly say this, man, just Google it. Look into the physics of mathematics and the geometry of the fabric that creates our universe and our reality. Our reality. Just Google it, study it, think about it. It will really start to make sense why the numbers are so important, because the universe speaks in numbers. And I'm waiting for other people to get the clue that numbers literally matter. These degrees in your chart, these degrees in Sebastian's chart, when they come upon him, they are expressing, they are already in orb before they get to that same exact degree. Before I started mapping kids, I was studying death and astrology. Death and astrology. Talking to other astrologers about death charts. So this is how I became familiar with the degrees, because the degrees can tell us something. And then when we look at the degrees, what are they aspecting? We know that California has this 2934. How do we know that? Let me show you. Let me just show you, because I'm going to show you how this investigation works. It's tedious. Junie could tell you. It's not something that we just learn overnight. We're always going to learn. It's not something that we can just, oh, we've learned it all. No, astrology isn't like that. It's an ever-evolving language of numbers, geometric angles of the numbers. And so if we look at California's chart with last night, with the 2934, we see that the 2934 is in California's chart twice. This is an explosion. This is fire. There is a lot of transforming energy. It's revolution. It can be a warring with the pew pew. It could be, this is fiery, and it's about the health. It's about the health. The 342 is their ascendant degree, and that's where Chris's dad, Michael Proudfoot, connects to California, is through their ascendant, with the things that are hidden, other people's money and the resources, the money, the gold rush. Remember the gold rush for California? Well, you may not know what I'm talking about. You could be young or just may not have ever really studied the gold rush in California. But that is shaking things up with California last night. Actually, no. This morning, early this morning. It first shook up Missouri. The 2933 is Missouri, and then it shakes up California at 2934. And then Uranus is going to come and shake things up here. Uranus is going to sit right here at the polar ascendant in the 7th house of relationships. It's going to sit here for a while. Going to shake things up. And it's going to oppose the ascendant of California with other people's money, with oil, or aid for whatever is taking place in California that they may need money for. More money. other people's money, taxes. It'll involve groups. This morning, this is what was taking place this morning. So when the 2950 comes to Sebastian, it's going to hit the state of California in a massive way, in a bigger way than it's going to hit him. See, they have the 2950 here as well with Uranus. Uranus is also a 2950, but Uranus is in Taurus. It doesn't matter. It's going to affect groups in California because Uranus is also going to be involved times 2. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3. Your daily life is unusual. You may experience sudden changes in your health. They could experience a shakeup with the earth. They could experience a tsunami. They could experience an outage. They can experience all kinds of things, fires. I mean, I don't even know. I do know that China and Russia are going to be in this transit as well. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot happening in the world. Lots happening in the world. So that is what is happening this morning. Now, if we take Uranus at the 2934 that is connecting to the state of California, it's about things of the past. This is talking about intuition. Now, this things of the past. This isn't about intuition, and it could be, California is a state. So we're not talking about the intuition. We're not talking about the dream state. We're not talking about any of that and things that we are talking about things of the past. The 12th house is the past. If you wanted to look at a past life, do I have a past life? If you believe in that, go to your 12th house, see what's going on. When I read someone's chart, I'm looking at the womb. This is what has taken place in your natal chart with your mama in the womb when she first conceives you. This is what's going on with her. This is the life that you're going to be coming into. That's going to be a patterned cycle. Cycle. Why is this always happening to me? Well, you know what? Because it's a cycle. This is the will of life. This is your free will. This is the free will. But it ain't free. It comes at a cost. You have to enter the state of matter, the electromagnetic field of the earth with Gaia. Uranus is the sky god. This is about sky. This is about air. This is about pollution, contamination of the air. It's about the resources, the money, the earth's resources. So this group here, this 2934, let's see what is aspecting. We go to the aspects. It's in a good standing with Mercury. It's conjunct Venus. It's sextile Saturn as well. Sextile Neptune. It's trine Pluto. It's in a good standing with Pluto. There's a fate with the descendant here. It's about a quick movement of energy. Could be a pew pew, could be fire. Just because it's in good standing, y'all. Just because there's good standings with all of this doesn't mean that it ain't going to hurt. Sextile Neptune, your generation has a chance to bring about social change, work outside the normal government channels to achieve these changes, like lobby. That's how they work. But Uranus is about we the people. It's also about we the people. And like I said, time and time again, Uranus is gay. It's just joyous and happy and different, innovative. The sky. What was falling from the sky the other day? Oh, fireballs. That happens. All the time. Sometimes we see them. Sometimes we don't. The earth has just went through a major solar stream. So we can expect some shakeups with the earth. We can expect earthquakes. We can expect that because the earth has just went through the stream. The storm is over. Earth is exiting a stream of solar wind that sparked geomagnetic storms. The wind speed is still up. It's not as dense. The solar wind isn't as dense as it was yesterday, but we still have a lot of speed to the solar wind. We are just now coming out of a storm. It's now quiet. Yesterday it was disturbed. We had a disturbance in the atmosphere. And let me tell you something. I predict we will have more solar storms, earthquakes, things of that nature in the coming days. Let's look at the recent earthquakes. I would say that this is because it has disturbed the Earth's crust, the electromagnetic field, all of that. So we've got Afghanistan, Indonesia showing up, Mexico, Chile, Russia, Scotia Sea. That's not a deep quake, so I wouldn't see that that would be any type of, because it's only 10 kilometers, that could be just a default, and USGS doesn't really know. Or it could be that, because the 5 and the 10 are usually defaults, but it also could be, it may or may not be having anything to do with the volcano. Yeah, the solar poles, they flip, they flip like that. So that's normal. That's what we want to see. So Mexico, the cycles that the sun goes through is completely normal. We've always had earthquakes. We've always had solar flares and geomagnetic storms. We've always had that. But see, there's differences with Shasta, California. Here near San Francisco, there has been different quakes that are showing up in the California area that are not patterns for me. We can see that the Philippines had a pretty good quake. It was magnitude 6.1 with a did you feel it 6. That one's deep. That one's 101 kilometers per USGS. That could be volcanic. And then we have New Mexico was quaking all day yesterday as well. So we could see deeper, more destructive earthquakes in the coming days. And there is a lot of chatter. I noticed yesterday a lot of chatter about fears. People are not even going to Japan right now, and fears of a big quake. Japan earthquake, and prediction from, what was her name? Baba. Baba Vanga's July 5th prediction creates panic after 500 earthquakes hit Japan. Japan's Baba Vanga warns of 2025 event that could lead to devastation. And she predicts it on July 5th. We haven't gotten there, right? We haven't gotten there to July 5th. And on July 5th, if we wanted to play the tape through for that, it's the day after Independence Day, right? And Uranus is at a 2955. Well, Jupiter is going to be expanding with the United States at a 556. This looks like a big day for ice on the 25th. This is a big day for ice. And how do I know that? Because they have the 355. It's a big day for Mr. Michael Proudfoot as well on July 5th. Michael Proudfoot is going to have a devouring energy of home and family. I can see that. The physician is left off. Let's see. What I do see, though, is the 2653. Let's see. Hold on. Damn, this is what a moment. 2732, that's the United States. But the 2955, Cuba, I see Cuba and the United States here. I see Cuba and the state of Tennessee. Saturday, July 5th. There could be things going on with ice here at home. Look at that. Jupiter is expanding the magnetism with Kathy Bowersox. It's funny that I see her ex-husband and her husband here. So the FBI as well. I see Katie, myself. There's a lot happening on July 5th. I don't see Japan, but there is the wisdom with the things that are hidden with the trash and the pond, and things that are hidden with the investigation with Sebastian on July 5th. I'll be looking at this one. I'll be yeah, I've got to study this chart, because this chart is showing other things, like the 302 that was in transit times 2 when Sebastian went missing. It's showing up here. There's certain things that I'm seeing here with Chris, Eric Craddock, Katie, her in-laws, Nina. A lot of things happening here. My physician is being called in. My physician is also with ICE. The 2358, these 23 degrees, that is also with the Carolinas, but it's also with my pattern for solar storms. And then we see Juno. I can't stress this enough, y'all. Juno is in Scorpio. There's going to be a shakeup with Tennessee on July 5th. July 5th in the afternoon, there's major shakeups going on with groups in Tennessee and warring. This is a big deal. I see that there's a major opposition happening with Trump. There's major warring going on with the FBI, with Snaggletooth, Bowersox, and all the while Chiron is coming to Sebastian in Pennsylvania. Sebastian in Pennsylvania, Chiron is coming to that ascendant and descendant. But y'all, this right here is going to be something to really observe right here. So we're going to see a relationship in Mississippi here. Sebastian is still in transit on July 7th. He is holding the wisdom. So that 1542 is not just Sebastian with the wisdom of Poseidon. It's going to begin on the 5th. It's going to pick back up. We're going to there is a revamping of energy that is going to come to Sebastian's case. It's like a pulse. It's like a heartbeat. It's going to just, wow, this is amazing. So this is also Nebraska. Other countries, I can't remember who. This is also Virginia, Nebraska, Sebastian, and there's other countries I can't remember that have this wisdom. But there's a devouring energy with Mr. Michael Proudfoot. And I've got to mention him because nobody else does. And I see him in the transits all the time with Sebastian. Mr. Truck Driver. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. So this 1619, this Juno, there's a relationship that's coming. Not just to Sebastian. Sebastian and Donald Trump share this 1614 degree. Look at that. There's the United States, the 2225, that we're getting a shakeup. This is Wednesday, July 9th. This is Virginia. I see Virginia, the 1256. This is also Massachusetts. And look, then the media is going to come. So there's going to be a warring here, public publicity here, and then the media is going to pick it up. Something is going on July 9th as well with Trump. Who's holding the collective? There's a 358. Lunar nodes are 2126. So it would have just left the 2128 with Summer Wells. 21. FBI. Chris, I see all kinds of shit. Good gosh. I see all kinds of stuff. And the teacher is going to go dark for Sebastian. There's a relationship with Sebastian. Let me start it at the very beginning because we're going to see how many days this is going to last. I'm going to keep this live up so we can go back and listen to it when these events take place. It's right here. Wow. This is going to take place July 9th, 5:40 a.m. When we first wake up. Sebastian holds the wisdom with the relationship, schooling, the 5th house of creativity, the way that we create. This is the sun. The sun rules this 5th house. 2542, we are still warring with the FBI and Mr. Bowersox. There's pain that is moving over us with Pennsylvania and Sebastian. This is Katie right here. I can see Katie. There's a lot of warring going on with her. We are now reflecting in Capricorn. Hold on. When's the full moon? Hold on. Let me remind myself. Full moon in Capricorn. The 10th. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was the 9th or the 10th. This is the full moon in Capricorn, so we're coming into the full moon. It's going to be a big deal. The desires of the past, of the long travels, the desires with Sebastian is in an opposition. Let me save it one more time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There is an opposing force with Sebastian. July 9th, this is going to culminate into the authority because Jupiter is going to end up expanding. The sun is going to be shining on the TBI. Hold on. Now we've got Uranus. During this full moon, Uranus is just going to come into Gemini. This is a big deal. It's a big deal, big deal, big deal. It's about money, honey. The 1614, there is going to be a relationship. So when Sebastian went missing, this 1614 was in transit, and this 1531 in Sag, this is his desires. This is Cupid, the 1531. It's about religion. It's about pew pew. It's about fire. It's about long travels. The 1531 is being opposed. So his health is being opposed. The communications, the desires to learn more about this video that the neighbor has showing Sebastian taking out the trash. This is still in transit. We are still wondering about it. There is still things going on. Look at that with the United States. And there's so much to talk about. Damn. Where's Venus? Where's Venus? Where's Venus? She's at the 5. So she has made it. She has already passed over that 29, 22. So now her values. Now Venus is a personal planet. We definitely feel it when Venus, it's not just some little, Venus is here. It's about Sebastian's values. Uranus is now here. It's going to shake things up. There's going to be a shakeup. There are the values here with Sebastian's relationships and the evidence that the TBI is holding. The relationship, God's will is being done here at the 1614. That was in transit when he went missing. When Sebastian went missing, that 1614 is a very important degree. And I remember that Donald Trump has that with his position Apollo in Virgo in the 1st house. It matters, and the state of matter it's not going to be as prominent because it's not in the same sign. Sebastian missing. Let's pull up one of these. I've got different missing events. One I used to map, one I didn't. So this 1614, let me show you. With the lights, with what we're talking about, between 1 and 3 a.m., there is a relationship right here that is about his Mars. There's a relationship with his body, with Mars. During this period of time, the 7-11 is being shown. That's the state of Tennessee's, the values. It's also Mexico. The 1614 is Sebastian's Vulcan. There was a lot of disordered aggression on February 26th in the middle of the night with President Trump and the Enlightenment about Israel and Mexico on the 26th. You see the 2656, 2656, the 190. This is going to Sebastian. And the third house of communications with the ring camera. It's already been foreseen. This has already been foreseen. That 302 that I was telling you about, this, that was ×2 when he went missing. This 302 was with Vulcanus. It's about things that are hidden at home with Chris and the public. There's a sister there. There's Mr. Michael Proudfoot. I mean, they're all in the transits. This family. They're all in it. They're all in it. Can't make it up. But this 302, where else was it? Where's the breakup? Yeah, there's the breakup with the health and the communications with the ring cameras. The stuck, right? One of them was stuck on the same time or whatever. There's a burden here with the health and the evidence. The 1531 had already been making its way in Sag, and there was an opposition. That's what we're seeing is the evidence. Hold on. Let me get it 2 seconds. Hold on. Let me get it to seconds because I'm going to show you the exact desires that are being opposed by relationships that we're going to see that's already in the past right here. This was at 1:32:23 a.m. The moon is at a 26:35 in Virgo, and the moon is opposing Neptune, the things that we need to dissolve with the communications. The sibling, faith, state of Tennessee, and their values. The physician up here is the TBI. The wisdom is Mississippi. There's a vertex with the state of Tennessee and warring with home, a transformation that has taken place. This 1202, there's a weight. There's a weight of home with relationships with faith. This is in her chart. The divine justice with relationships and home. This is Melissa. This is Michael Proudfoot. This 43 is also Terry Bowersox Jr. And this flame of life with communications is Melissa. She has that in her chart. The flame of life is going to come to a 2255, and that is going to be Georgia. It's going to be Trump. South Carolina. And you can see all of that was taking place in the 26th. All you got to do is Google it. What was taking place with Trump in California? Mexico and Israel. What was taking place with Trump and Mexico? Google it, the 26th. You'll see it. The 344 that he has in his chart is in Leo. Don't matter. It's making contact. The 344 that Israel has is in Capricorn. Don't matter. The 344 that Mexico has is in their midheaven and their IC. It's with Capricorn and Cancer don't matter. It's making contact. Okay? It's making contact. Doesn't matter if it's in the same sign or not. It's making contact. If it's in the same sign, it's going to be even more potent. Mercury here at a 526. Well, the state of Tennessee's Mercury is a 537 in Virgo. So Mercury is opposing. What's Mercury? Mercury is the third house of communications. It's here. It's about siblings. It's about the media. It's about the Ring camera. It's Gemini. But Mercury here is in Pisces. So Mercury is going to oppose Tennessee's Mercury. And that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened when he went missing. The 537 is coming. We're going to see it. 536, look at this. I'm about to show you something very, very important when it comes to the investigation process with me. Look at that. It's opposing not only the state of Tennessee and their communications with their own Mercury at a 537 in the ninth house of higher learning and courts in Virgo, but look at that. Mr. Michael Proudfoot, Vulcan, God's will is being opposed with your magnetism, with you. And if Chris has it, if anybody else has it, I don't know, but I know 110% it's with Michael Proudfoot. This is also with California. Okay? This is also with California. There is an opposition here. And the 1202 that's weighing faith down is now showing Venus and values that are coming with groups, with video in the future. We know Faith wasn't there, but she is showing up in the transits. Was Michael Proudfoot there? He's showing up in the transits. I don't know. Don't know. But then we're going to have limits and obstacles when it comes to the warring of work and authority with Terry Bowersox. There is a reason why they're all showing up. We see this 1928. The United States of America has their dark moon, their disordered aggression in Virgo at a 1928. Well, all you got to do is Google it and see why the president wakes up and he's having all this disordered aggression about Mexico. There's a lot of things going on with Mexico and Israel and Trump in this. And it seems like every time Sebastian is in transit, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. 344 showing up. Well, guess what? Guess who else has this 344 in their chart? Me. And guess what? I've been to both Mexico and Israel. That's why I'm connected to Mexico and Israel. It's because I've been there. It's in my chart. It's with World Health. It's where I learn and teach about World Health with astrology. I've been to both. The magnetism with Michael Proudfoot, Mr. Truck Driver, he has a magnetism with California. Oh, hold on just a second, y'all. Hold on. Hey, Jay. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting us know. And I'll let Jeff know as soon as he comes in. All right, thanks, bye. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with a severe UTI that would make you lose consciousness in an elderly person. So Jeff's mother, she lost consciousness yesterday, and she went into the hospital after they found her laying face down. And she has a severe UTI that made her lose consciousness for a couple of hours. And they are saying that, she went into a septic shock. So I'm trying to talk to Jeff's brother and to let him know that this is not something to, this is not anything that's light. This is severe. And so they aren't letting her leave the hospital. They are transporting her to another hospital. And so that's that. But sorry for that, y'all. I had to take that call and try to get Jeff to come in. But anyway, I wanted to ask you your opinion about the conjunction with Pluto and Aquarius. Maybe a hidden death or a hidden truth involving more people or unresolved issues may surface. Was curious how this full moon in Capricorn, that Pluto showing up for Sebastian. Hopefully the government will expose something new soon. I'm praying. What I've seen with the conjunction with Pluto and the moon, I've seen it with Capricorn. So the conjunction with the moon in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, that was my pattern for runaway. But now that we have Pluto in Aquarius, I'm still trying to figure out what that conjunction means for me. So I know it really didn't answer your question, but I'm still observing and I'm still trying to understand what it really means when they conjunct, because that one was a runaway, but now we have a new sign with Aquarius, and I'm just not sure. I feel like that's about the internet. It's about groups. It's about a group home group, maybe possibly humanitarianism, missionary, homelessness, things of that nature, online schooling, things like that. Yeah, prayers for her. Thank you, Angel, because it's like, I don't think that he realizes just how serious it is. And he's like, well, it's not in her blood. Yes, it is in her blood. That's what being septic is. It's in your blood. That's what that means. And the unconsciousness and losing unconsciousness, and, she didn't have control over her urine or her bowels when she lost consciousness. She had to have a shower before they took her. I mean, this is serious for a very independent woman who just got off work. She's in her 80s. She shouldn't even be working. She should be retired. Anyway, so much to talk about with that one, but it'll just get me upset, and I don't want to be upset. But anyway, this too makes me upset because it's like, there is so much that was happening when he went missing, and the different aspects, the different people, the different connections that was making these connections. There's an opposition with Tennessee. And this opposition with Tennessee, there's also an opposition with the values, with the group, with Michael Proudfoot. And I also see that this 928 is coming into the same degree with Terry Bowersox. Saturn is going to be warring with him about drugs and endings and hospitals and prisons. Yeah, it can definitely cause altered mental status in elderly people. Like I said, I just don't think that he realizes how serious it is. When you get to a severe UTI where you're losing consciousness, that's called septic shock. That's a shock. Your organs are shutting down. You're close to death. I've seen it. Even Skylar, she wasn't septic, but when she would have an anaphylactic shock, her body would shut down, and she would urinate and defecate on herself on the way to the hospital. And it would happen. She would lose consciousness. It was bad. It's not something to play with, and it does affect the organs. And so hopefully, her going to this bigger hospital, they're going to run the tests on her that she needs and give her the care, because she lost memory. She left work and didn't even know how she got home. They found her with her head in the bushes, unconscious, and her back had a hellacious bruise on it. Don't know how she got it. It's bad. That's bad. And she, like I said, she's a very independent woman. So this is going to be something that, we may have to go to the hospital as soon as he gets done. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But I do know that the things that are coming for Sebastian, that are coming for Eric Craddock, the TBI, if they were to really work and investigate these degrees that are showing up in this chart, are going to be showing back up when Sebastian is found. I'll bet in a different sign. Hopefully Mercury is not going to be opposing, right? There is an opposition here with the state of Tennessee. God's will is being done with groups that's opposing the magnetism, the beauty, the electromagnetic forces with Michael Proudfoot in California. And then what's going to happen is this 342 is going to come to the 344, and there's an opposition with God's will in Mexico. With God's will in Mexico and Trump and Israel. That is what is happening as well during this period of time. But it's also, where I'm seeing faith in this as well. I do see faith in this as well. So we can see that the wisdom is held with the secrets of Mississippi. And that's where Chris was, allegedly. But it's a secret, right? Scorpio wants us to uncover what's hidden. It's murky. We can't quite see. But it's a lot better than Pisces, because it takes a while for us to dissolve the Piscean energy, and it won't take us that long to uncover the things that are hidden. But it's with the TBI. The TBI is the physician that is holding any evidence. And it's about who you know in the government and these agencies. It's about who you know. Right? Who do you know? What leverage do you have with the city, with the state, with the governing bodies? But this 1614 is dark. There is a lot of disordered aggression about the health with Sebastian and God's will. And the body and the vehicle. The body and the vehicle, that's the relationship that we're looking for, right? This relationship right here is Kathy and Terry with a disordered aggression about things of the past. What's happened with Sebastian and his health. And it could have to do with medicines, something that Terry Bowersox is familiar with. I don't know. Hold on just a second. Hey, I'm live on YouTube, but I'll text you back. You okay? All right. Yeah, I've got some things to talk to you about. Jeff's mom's in the hospital, so I'll call you back. I mean, not like I thought she would be, no. Not like I thought she would be. I'll talk to you about it here in a minute. Love you, bye. Oh. So that's what's happening with the event. And there is a lot of critical letting go here at home with values and evidence. There's an expansion here. this day when Sebastian went missing, this whole day was just it just wasn't a good day for him. It just wasn't a good day for him because Chiron had been over his Chiron. And there was a lot of pain for the future to come with groups, not just one person, not just two, but a group, and we the people. And when the Aquarian energy comes upon you, may not just happen right then. It could come in the future, in the near future. So this is the 12. We know that that's a wake-up call for Sebastian. The 12 is a wake-up call with Pallas, with the investigation, with things that are hidden, with relationships in the ring camera. And that investigation about ring cameras with Sebastian's relationships and partnerships took place right here at 2:52:23 a.m. on the 26th, early morning hours of the 26th, 2:52 a.m. This is when the values of the investigation with the videos and the networking with the groups with Sebastian. This is when it began. And it's coming in the future. And it did. It did. It has. And we're still talking about the lights. There's a lot of energy here with Ceres. Lots and lots of energy. It's about things of the past with Faith and the courts. This 1202 is Faith. This is about court. This is about things of the past and the courts. The 1808 is the judge. 1807 is Nina. 1808 is Nina. This is about the judge and the courts and Nina, Faith. This is about relationships and the values for the future, what they want, how they want to fix, manage, and control. This is it. This is it. And then it's going to leave from Sebastian and it's going to hit Faith. And then we wake up and we know that Sebastian is missing. Then he's reported missing, but the weight is with Faith and relationships, home, the people at the home. And it's coming in the future with the values and the groups, we the people. Mercury is already in orb opposing the state of Tennessee's Mercury, which is the media, which is the ring cameras. Disordered aggression at a home with groups and the values, the evidence of the warring that's taken place about Sebastian and school. Lots of warring in the middle of the night with Sebastian and groups. And so the 12 with Venus and these values and the evidentiary value that is coming in the future is also next to Mars. Mars and Venus, when they conjunct like this, there can be an accident, a car wreck. Can be something to do with the body when Mars and Venus are conjunct like this. I've seen it time and time again in accidents, especially if someone has had an accident, we can't find them and we're looking for them. I see it time and time again with that conjunction, with the values and the accident. The values and the warring, the values and the initiating energy, the values and the courage. And so this is what is taking place. Nina rises with this degree. She rises at a 107. So it's coming in the future with groups. And she's going to be crying to us. And she's going to be telling us about the values and about the courts. This isn't just for 2:52 a.m. This is for the rest of the event. There is things that are taking place here that are affecting Sebastian in a big way. And everybody else. that's involved. The 1753 is even showing up in the woman that said, hey, I think I've seen Sebastian in Georgia walking with some homeless people. She even has this degree in her chart. It's amazing what we can tell. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's a warning here with the 2420, and I believe that Kathy has that. I believe that Oklahoma and other states have this warning. And there's Mars. Mars is just waiting for that 1050. That 1050 was Sebastian's health and the ring camera. The 1010 is making its way to the FBI. There's limits and obstacles in the future for the FBI. 1010 and limits and obstacles for the FBI, but that 1010 is also in Melissa's chart all day, every day. There's an emotional explosion of energy with Melissa and her family and groups that is coming with Mars at 4:52 a.m. on the 26th. But let's go ahead and let's go back to the state of Tennessee. That 350 that the state of Tennessee and and Sebastian has with prisons and hospitals. The outer wheel with the trash and the pond and the things that are hidden with the investigation with Sebastian's. There's that 350. FBI. Melissa. Oh, there's that 1350 that I see with Chris and Katie. The 1350 that she has is in Cancer. It's her pain. She's pained here. She has a lot of pain here at 4:45 in the morning. The weight, faith, initiating energy with Vesta. There's this flame of life that's reigniting with siblings, and that's Melissa and her sibling, Chris. Unless it's another sibling. The 541. We know that the weight with the media is coming to the 542 that she and Eric Craddock share together. That 542, there it is. There's the media. And Melissa has this 1854. You see what I'm saying? Like there is just, I can tell the things that are happening with the family, with Sebastian and the law enforcement. The 2428, there's information that is coming in with the 2428. There's information here, right here. 4:51:43 a.m. Hendersonville time. There's the 2428. They are receiving information. There's information that's being received. And it's rising in the future with groups. It's going to rise in the future with groups. There's the midheaven and the IC. And it's about the health factor and the evidentiary value that we are needing, that they are needing, that the FBI is needing with the groups, with their peers, with the law enforcement. The dark moon has finally moved off of Sebastian here. But the weight is still on his sister and her family with his home with Sebastian. So this is an important time period between 1 and 3 a.m., 1 and 5 a.m. There is a lot that's taking place, and the disordered aggression with the health and relationship is hitting Sebastian in a big way. You know, It hits him in a big way. So let me get back to July 9th. Sorry, listening behind. Yes, it's very common for the elderly to get really sick with a UTI not treated right away. Thankfully, she got to the hospital. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is big. It's big. It's a big deal for elderly people. She is, she shouldn't even be working. She's very independent. So what's going to happen is July 9th. So Sebastian and this girl, Miss Texana, she and him share this degree. It's 1143. And this is it. There's going to be a disordered aggression about the health. And you can see now Juno is at a station. She's going to sit here for days. This is July 10th, but she's going to be here for days. So Texana is supposedly an ex-teacher or was a teacher or something. I don't know. She likes to cause problems. She likes to cause warring amongst people, acting like she knows something that she doesn't really know. And this 26, hold on just a second. Hold on. Jeff. Oh my God, it went to a downpour and Jeff's on the back porch going, I don't know how I got locked out. Sorry. It's a habit. Oopsies. So here, July 10th, we're going to see that there is going to be a relationship that is hidden, that is going to station and is going to be very intense, not just with Sebastian, but with Donald Trump too. And I'm going to be investigating this chart as well because I know that the 932, the 931 is a connection with Sebastian and the divine justice with the courts. And so what does Texana, why does she insert herself and why does Chris Proudfoot know her so well? Why is it that when I go to court with Seth or Bullhorn Betty and that girl shows up all the way from Texas, what is her, why? Why would she connect to Sebastian at this 1143? This is a teacher for Sebastian and is going to go dark. There is a disordered aggression with a teacher and information, these leads that are coming in about Sebastian. And why is she connected to it? Why is she connected? What's going on this full moon in Capricorn day with that girl? Why is she showing up? There's the 1311. I see the Netherlands in this. I see it's too much here. I see Mexico. The ascendant of Mexico is going to be hit. There's going to be a lot of transformation with Mexico and with Trump. There's way too much I'm seeing here. Yes, there is a magnet. Yeah. So I'm seeing that there is going to be things that are taking place with the United States, China, with Elon, there's so much happening, and with Sebastian. The 10th and the 11th of July are big days again for Sebastian because there is going to be an intensity with this relationship that went dark about his health when he went missing, and it's in Scorpio. Scorpio's hidden. It's investigation. It's transformative. It's intense. It's about hidden sex, other people's money. It's about the investigation. It's about trash. It's about a containment. You know what a containment is. It's about containment. Things that are hidden. Hidden sex. Death. And this is a time period where this 1143 is going to go dark. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Because it's going to hit. And that dark moon is going to sit on Sebastian 1143. It's going to sit here. The dark moon is here. And it's going to be here for a couple of hours. But guess what? This is Thursday early morning. This is at 1:40 a.m. This is in the middle of the night. The 1311 is also the state of Tennessee's TBI. The TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, have a 1311, and there's going to be an initiating energy here with Mars. There's something beginning and ending here in the fifth house of kids with a lot of attention with the TBI. There's a transformation with Mexico, their ascendant. Is that Mexico? Let me make sure. Let me look at California. Yep, it's Mexico. Let's look at Mexico. So we're going to see another Mexico day with this 1614 with Trump. And a physician, a relationship. Mexico, July 10th. Mexico, July 10th. You see Mexico rises out of 348. So it's hitting their ascendant. It's not the same sign, but it's definitely going to be transformative with their health. Are they going to have, a, it could be a weather event. I don't know. But this 1143 is going to go over, the darkness is first going to come over Mexico's 1138. It's going to shake them up with their values, with other people's money, with trade, with things that are hidden, with the investigations. Where's their people? Where's the group of Mexico? I don't know what is going to be happening, but the dark moon is going to come there first before it comes to Sebastian. And the wisdom that Michael Proudfoot has that's going to be devouring when it comes to California, he also connects to Mexico with Pluto here. This 1551 is Mike Proudfoot all day long. He connects here. Me and Vladimir, the president of Russia, we connect to Mexico here. So does Homeland Security. This 1450, me and SF Investigates, we connect to Mexico here. So does Summer Wells. Pennsylvania does as well. I mean, I can just tell you this 123 is opposing Tennessee. Their Jupiter, Mexico's Jupiter, opposes the state of Tennessee. The state of Tennessee in the 12th house of Sag has a 123 in Sag, and they have a 123 with Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? So there is a lot of connections that each state, that each country, that each person makes with other states and countries and persons. And we are going to see these connections on the world stage, but also personally with Sebastian. There is a lot of transformation that's going to take place with Melissa on this day. Yeah. So there, I would say by July 10th, and I know we got a ways to go, we're going to see this teacher of Sebastian's, the 1614 relationship. There's a relationship here. God's will is being done, and it's about a long travel. It's about religion. It's about the pew pew. It's about another country. It's about his health, his life path. And there's a relationship that's going to station for days with he and Donald Trump. And yeah, but the question does beg to be answered. Why is Chris Proudfoot and Texana, why are they friends? Is she being paid? Why is she going so hard for Chris Proudfoot? And he can't say that he doesn't know her. Clue was saying, oh, well, girl, you was late coming to court with your hair bun. You was late. We were there early. We saw him and her talking. The judge even said, hey, dude, you need to sit down. If you want to talk to her, sit beside her. You need to sit down. Squatting so nobody could see him talking to her. We could definitely see you talking to her. Bullhorn Betty was in court. Why was she coming to the court to deliver documents way back when? She's a troublemaker. That's what I have. That is my perception of Texana. She's a troublemaker. She likes to cause problems. And so does Chris. And so does his mommy. His mommy and him were there. Not Katie. Him and his mommy were there. Her looking like a wicked witch. Not kidding. All black. Looked like she was going to a funeral. They come in late. They're talking. She and Chris Proudfoot have a relationship. This teacher that is hidden with this investigation is Texana, in my opinion. And it's opposing his health. The dark moon is going to be opposing his health and the evidence that they are holding. There is a darkness that is coming over Sebastian in a relationship. That relationship that took him somewhere else. Whether you wanted to say he's deceased or alive, where is Sebastian? Where is he? He didn't just go poof off the planet. He just didn't. So where's Sebastian? That is what these energies are going to hopefully shed more light on, because there's a lot of energy that is coming with Sebastian in July. And if we take a look at this July 10th, this full moon in Capricorn, it's about authority. It's about a place of business. It's about responsibility and accountability. It's about the father, a father figure, someone older, someone more mature. It's about the public image. With a woman, it would be the boss. Because Capricorn, even though we think of it as a male energy, it's feminine. It's the female boss. In the tarot, it's the devil. Capricorn is the Vatican. We're going deep into the ritualistic. It's about leaders, the leadership, the government, the public image. So this right here is showing the wisdom was upon him for days, and now the wisdom has let off, and now there's a darkness with the relationship. We're going to go days now. It's going to be a wake-up call with Iran, with different countries here. Oh, it's going to get crazy. I don't think that we have seen the last of the warring. Could be wrong. Let's see. So now the relationship is at a station. So see, what I want to show you is the relationship comes in to a station on July 10th. It's at a station on the July 11th. The relationship is now moving forward on July 12th. No longer are we in the past. And then no longer are we in the past, and the relationship is moving forward. And the TBI is going to be faded at a 2117. I'm going to gain some wisdom that day when it comes in. And this is it. Right here. July 12th. The fate is upon the TBI. And we're going to reflect. Let's go ahead and reflect back to that 12. Let's go ahead and reflect back to that 12, because we saw it coming in the future one day. Right there. This is where I want it. And we can see that the fate is upon the TBI. There's a wake-up call with Homeland Security here. Little wake-up call, little investigation with Homeland. We're reflecting at the 12. There's an opposition with Katie and the justice system and the third house of communications, siblings, childhood friends. There's this relationship with Sebastian still. We're moving forward. There's this relationship that we were moving forward with Trump. The 349, this is King Charles. The 349 is also Homeland Security. So we're going to see things about King Charles and Homeland Security on this day as well. But the fate is with the TBI. What else can we see? And then, this 349 is going to come to the 350 with the state of Tennessee and Sebastian all over again. What else can I see? Saturn is going to be stationing at a 156. There is the warring and the governing bodies are going to be, there is going to be a limits and obstacles. There is going to be things that are going to be intense on July 12th. Of course, I'm sure that there's things that I'm not seeing. This is the outer will of the state of Tennessee, the outer will, 12th and 6th house, 1421. The media is going to be talking about things of the past with children. All the while, the 853 that is coming into the 854 with Melissa about the communications and her sibling, her and someone else. And then let's see if this relationship is going to move off of that 1614 the next day. And it does. It moves to the 1615. Lots of energy is going to Virginia. We haven't made it to the 350 yet. There's the 1428, 16. Let's see. 10. And then Venus is going to come to the Hygeia of Sebastian. It's about the values with his health and the ring camera. Let's go ahead and do the days. And this is going to oppose Ohio. When Venus comes that 1050, it's going to oppose the values of Ohio and the quick movement of energy. Right there. 1701. Let's go ahead and get it. There it is. There's Sebastian's Chiron. It's about the pain from the past, the communications with two people, with his health, the evidence, the ring camera. So there's something evidentiary with two people. There's two things. There's two footprints. There's something with two. Opposing Ohio. We're coming into Kentucky. There is going to be an expansion with Kentucky. Look at that 1518. It's going to come down to the 1516 with Sebastian's Mars degree. Look at that 2211. The sun is shining in an opposition with the state of Tennessee and their Chiron. They are pained with the value, the resources. This 2211 also goes to Yemen, so we'll see things about Yemen as well, not just the state of Tennessee and the values that. There's the 350. Now it's in transit with Tennessee and with Sebastian. The investigation with the TBI 842, 844, we're coming into Virginia, coming into other countries. The 12 has already passed over the darkness with the cameras and the health and the investigation. There is a moon here that is reflecting the United States and things that are taking place in the United States. Not good. I see Hawaii and the Netherlands still. This 2144, let's go back. because this is where the FBI is going to be pained with the investigation. There is a pain that they are going to experience with an investigation. It's going to give them a shakeup. And this connects to Chris Proudfoot. Chris Proudfoot. This is Sunday at 6:11 a.m. There's things that are taking place with the FBI here. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at Miss Bowersox having a come apart. That'll be on July 17th, where she's going to have a come apart all day. All day. That's on July 17th. Mark it on your calendars. There is an emotional explosion with her all day long. She's going to have major emotions about children, about publicity. She may show her ass. I don't know. And then Chiron is going to come and bring pain to Sebastian about the values, And here it is, right. Oh, shoot. It's going to be a long time on that 2705 with Chiron. My goodness. Oh, God, whoever has that one, they're going to be feeling it for a long time. Okay, so here's the values with Sebastian, and now the moon is in Taurus, so it's about the evidence, the values. Kentucky, the landfill, what values? And then the United States on July 18th is going to be opposed. There is going to be a major opposition on the 18th with the United States. Mark it on your calendars, July 18th, Friday afternoon. There is going to be a major issue. There is going to, we the people, the electromagnetic, the electrical, there is things that are going to be taking place here with the United States that is in opposition with their Uranus in the 6th house of health in Gemini. The Uranus return for the United States is coming. This is a big deal. It's major, 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 major. Uranus is at a 0028 when this takes place with the opposition. I'll keep that so I can look at that later. So the values, it's going to be a lot of energy going to that 1511, which is Virginia. There is going to be a lot of initiating energy with the values, with Venus, with California and with Mexico. But look at that. The devouring energy is with the United States at a federal level. 1604. This is also Yemen. Other countries, other people, of course, connect to the United States at a federal level with their values, with the United States values and what, the things that they hold in possession. It's about home. It's about networking. The electrical grid. This could be something going on with TikTok on July 18th. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. "90 days from June 19th. So that's not going to be it. It shouldn't be about TikTok. There's another country that has that 855, and I can't remember who it is. I didn't write it down. Of course, I can't remember. There is another country, though, that there's going to be some justice here with a fiery energy, the groups, with the electrical. I'm definitely going to see if I can get a jump start on that. See if I can figure that out. But then now the lunar nodes are going to be going down. So I see that there's a lot of energy with groups. Oh, I see. I get it. Okay, so there's a lot of energy that's taking place right here with groups. So the 17th is when Kathy's going to have come apart. And then on the 18th, there's a lot of energy with the TBI and Eric Craddock. Let me see the Eric Craddock fate here. And this may not amount to anything, but I don't know, because I'm seeing that Mercury is now going to come to that 1531 that Sebastian has. This is showing up in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th house of kids and creativity. It's about school. It's about education. There's publicity here about his desires. There has already been an intensity that's taken place, a lot of action that's coming with the state of Tennessee. And there is a divine justice here with the courts, with Melissa. And there's a fate here with Eric Craddock. All the while, Chiron is still at that 2706 on the 19th. This is in the middle of the night. This is in the middle of the night with Craddock. And crazy. It just keeps coming that things are taking place in the middle of the night when this boy should be asleep unless he's in another country. And look at that. There is going to be an intensity. So there's already been a relationship with Sebastian. Now there's going to be this intensity at home. There's this intensity. And look at that. Jupiter is expanding that 855, the Uranus of the United States of America. There's something happening with our communications. Divine Justice has left the 855. She's at the 854. What is happening here? 2056. That is Eric Craddock all day, every day. No matter what time he's born, he has a timing. There's a timing that's coming with communications, and it's coming on July 19th in the middle of the night. There's going to be a lot of energy going toward that Mars degree with Sebastian. There's values. He's pained with the values of where he went, where he's traveled to. The things are hidden. The moon is still here at 1234. The moon is in Taurus. So we are reflecting on the evidence. We are reflecting on values. We're reflecting on money. Follow the money. And then the lunar nodes are going to come to Sebastian and the TBI at a 2046. Other states have that 2046, by the way. Other states have that 2046. And this is going to take place on July 22nd. It's going to begin at 4:11 a.m. Let's see. And then look, the 2950 is also going to come into play. That's California and the connection that Sebastian has. 2950, there's going to be things that Chris is going to learn. There's going to be things that I'm going to learn. And it's about the things that are hidden on his long travels, on Chris's long travels. There's going to be a communications here. TBI, other states. It's 2046. This is in the 9th house. This is, oh yeah, there's an opposing force with Chris on this day. There's an opposing force because he is transformed in Leo at this degree. And Leo and Aquarius oppose one another. This is Investigator Palace. She sees the things that are hidden. There's the FBI. The FBI is having an intense experience here. And I can only hope that this is going to transform with Sebastian's case and not something else, not just chatter. And I'm going to keep that hope alive, because we are not done with the warring with the FBI and Terry Bowersox just yet. We're just not done with it. We're just not done with it. Now Saturn is going to come back. Saturn is going to come back over the FBI and their connection with Kathy Bowersox, and it's just going to continuously take place. This isn't going away. It's not going away. It's not going to go bye-bye. There's things that are just going to keep on happening until something finally breaks. Until something finally breaks. There is going to be a lot of warring that is going to be taking place in Israel too. There's a lot of things that are taking place on the world stage with these other countries and the trading and the money. It's big. This is a big time. This is a huge time to be alive. It's interesting times. But for Sebastian, we need him home. We need to know what happened to him. We need to know. So there is this opposition that Sebastian and the TBI have, and it's actually going to begin at 2047. The things from the past with the head wound, with the investigation, is going to take place July 21st, Monday evening, and then the 2046 with Sebastian is going to come into play with them. You see this opposition with Chris and We the People and the investigation with the warring that took place with Sebastian. Sebastian has this warring with education, with the head. And he does. He has the chromosomal deletion that he was born with. So that's it. That's the head wound that he has. He has a head wound. So when I say that Sebastian has a head wound with the head, I'm not just talking about if something were to have taken place that night. I'm talking about that's what he was born with. A head wound. Things going on with his head, with the brain. The chromosomal deletion. It's very rare. So there's an opposition with the transformation and the public eye. And then this Sedna 140, 141, 142, that's going to be the connections that Kathy and the FBI have. Eris is now at a 2543. She's at a station. Now she's coming back in retrograde. So she's going to come back to war with the FBI and Terry Bowersox. The FBI just needs to focus on Terry Bowersox, because I'm ready to see that connection. I'm ready to see their connection in real life. Like, I want to see it. The disordered aggression is coming with the TBI and the investigation. Any investigation, there is a disordered aggression that they're having. Major intensity that's taken place with communications and the treason with the insiders of the FBI. I mean, that's been going on forever. But when are they really going to do something about really upholding the law? On the 23rd, there's something very interesting here that I see. It's this connection that Katie's friend, Laura, whatever her name is, Miss BFF, her ex, John, he connects with the FBI. So a weight of responsibility, a weight of accountability is coming over him with his work. And didn't he go to the UK? Yeah, he did. He did. He went to the UK. When Sebastian went missing, he went bye-bye. And this connection that he has with the FBI is interesting to me. And I always want to keep that in mind, that he is connected to them. The desires for the responsibility, accountability for the FBI is being called in. And then there's going to be another warring with them. There's an intensity here with them and with Kathy Bowersox, with her connection with them. And then the 2542 with the FBI and Mr. Bowersox, that'll come back again on August 3rd. There's a shakeup with the wisdom of kids, with groups, with us, with we the people on July 29th. And the things that are causing a lot of problems with Sebastian and the things that are hidden with his mother at home. There's that 1614 again. Kronos is devouring it. Do you see what I'm saying? So the whole month of July into August is all about these connections with Sebastian's case, because we, the people, aren't letting off. We're not letting off, and we're going to keep on. There's a huge weight with the United States, with Donald Trump, and with Eric Craddock on this day as well, because the United States and Eric Craddock have this connection. No matter what time Eric's born, he's got this connection. It's going to be a big old weight. You can mark it down on your calendar, July 29th. This connection that Sebastian has with Donald Trump, that 1614, well, that's going to be, there's a devouring energy here. Excuse me. This is when Miss Proudfoot, the emotional insecurities that she has, whatever took place that day, there is going to be limits and obstacles with her and the FBI. Because she's connected. She's connected. And Mr. Proudfoot, this isn't going away. The end of July is still going to be bad. And I just wonder, how long are they going to stay together? They don't have a good relationship. I don't see how they're even still together today. I don't foresee them being together, making it through this. One of them is going to have to crack. And which one is it going to be? I mean, they're just going to play house and pretend that nothing happened and act like everything's okay. I mean, what is Katie doing? You know, behavior can tell us a lot. There's going to be a wake-up call with Mexico and Florida here, the 7th house of communications and relationships here. A lot of media when it comes to state of Tennessee. There's so much happening. But the education, school is going to be starting, so we should see a lot of media about the education. It's already began. It's already began about what they're going to do with schools. It's also about what is happening with Sebastian in school. You don't look for what's lost. I mean, you don't look for what's not lost. I mean, Sebastian evidently is not lost to them because they're not looking. They're not asking for help. Their behavior is very odd to have a missing kid. It's very odd. It's almost unheard of. If you don't have anything to do with your kid's disappearance, you're out there, you're crying, you're asking, you're pleading, you're looking, you're wondering. You're keeping his name out there. But not her. She's playing house. She's playing house. Being stepmommy. Like she enjoys being around kids or something. I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe she is sent Sebastian somewhere and she just didn't think that none of this was going to blow up. Maybe an accident took place and she's trying to cover it up, trying to save her ass. I don't know. But it's selfish. Very selfish. I have no respect for a woman that can treat another kid like your own, and you can't even treat your own child like your own. You can't look for him. Well, then she must know where he's at. She must know exactly where he's at. That would be the only thing that is keeping Chris and Katie together, is not wanting to fold. But this Jupiter, it's going to weigh her down. It's going to expand her money problems, her burdens, this breakup. There's a breakup here on Monday. The relationship, other people's money with Sebastian. Monday, the 28th. There's Crabtree. There's going to be a transformation with Crabtree on this day as well. That could be what's going to weigh Craddock down. There's going to be an opposition with the United States Pluto on this day. There's a lot happening in the world and with Sebastian's case. And don't worry, I know I went through August through July, but I'm going to be coming back and reminding and just keep reminding everyone of what is happening. Because the degrees literally matter in the state of matter. And I'm going to continuously prove that over and over and over until every astrologer gets on board with me and starts investigating charts another way. Because we want to take these degrees and we want to see what is happening. It's going to be fated with the earth, the resources. It's going to be square Uranus. Square Uranus at 0049. It's about the wisdom that the state of Tennessee has with children, with the publicity and the ring camera. That's going to challenge Crabtree, especially if he's using a spirit box. There's going to be a fate with Neptune and Pluto, because this is going to be hitting Crabtree and other people. There's other people that have this. Don't worry. It's not just him. The sun is going to shine at an opposition with China. We'll see China. Oh, yeah. There's going to be things with China. Look at that. The moon is going to be conjunct Mars. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Interesting. And things of the past with health, the vehicle, the movement, the plane, the aircraft, the ship, whatever it is that Mars is initiating here with the movement. We're going to be reflecting where we've been before. It's with China. It's with money. It's with the United States. It's with trade. There's going to be a weight, a devouring energy with Trump here, and the wisdom that Tennessee has with we the people. There is so much happening. Wow. That 1614 is going to come in with a lot of energy. And there's a relationship that's pained, that pains Sebastian. It's going to get a little wakey wake, a little, that 1701. Does that go to, it may go to the Carolinas. Divine Justice is coming to the Kentucky. Oh, yeah. There's an opposition with the United States and with China on this day. Oh, but the dark moon is coming. It's coming to Chris and Katie and Eric Craddock. Please be something good. Please be something better. The sun is going to shine on Kathy as well. Her magnetism is, the sun is going to shine on it with education and kids. And then guess what? Jupiter will eventually come. Let's see. Will Jupiter come? That's the outer wheel of, that's Iran or Iran, Trump. The wisdom is going to come to the TBI. There's so much that is just going to continuously wrap itself around. I want to see this 1143. Hold on. Let me go days. Hold on. Let me see. It's about the education, the teacher with Sebastian and the media. 1143. Vulcan is going to hit it first. Hold on. Right there. This is in the 5th house of kids and creativity, education. Let's see. Oh God, I keep seeing Sharfie. My goodness. Mars is going to oppose me on this day, and it's also with South Carolina. There's something with South Carolina. That could be Tyler Doyle. I've been looking at his case for a long time. Let's see. Jupiter is going to expand the health, the world health. There it is. God's will is being done. Let's look at the next hour. There it is. So this is going to take place. Let me see. When it begins, if it's going to begin in the 4th house of home with mom, it is. With a home, school, home, teaching, a school, a teaching, the media. The flame of life is coming on Katie and Faith. All the while, the dark moon is coming to her and Chris. And then Jupiter is going to expand the Pluto of Tennessee at a 1055. Venus is going to oppose the Neptune of Chris Proudfoot and what he has hidden with the long travels. Venus is the evidence. I just wonder sometimes, do they have evidence? Are they going to obtain the evidence and he thinks he's getting away with something? Mr. Cocky, you think you got something going on. I mean, it's my opinion. I have the right to my opinion, and I don't like their behavior at all. At all. I'm going to speak on it and stand up with my chest about it. 4th house of home, there's this teacher. So we're going to be learning things. There's going to be information about schooling. There is an opposition once again with Summer Wells and her health. That's why I keep seeing Sharfie in transit. I keep seeing Ronnie Lawson and his son. We have so much to go through here. The moon is reflecting in Virgo once again. That's, the moon was in Virgo when he went missing. Matters. It matters if we're going to be looking at the moon here. This education, let's see how how Mercury is going to be square Vesta, the flame of life, the reigniting of the flame, opposing the midheaven. So it's not, it's about the family. It's about the education. It's the flame of life. So the flame of life, that's his mother. And that is Faith. And that's the whole reason why we're here, right? Is the mother's decision for someone else's child, not hers. Someone else's, in courts, school, teachers. Maybe we'll hear of another teacher. Maybe other teachers will start talking. And we can only hope, we can only hope that is what will come about, because Sebastian deserves to be found. Let's keep going. I want to see this moon. I want to see this moon. 24, 28. Let's go ahead and we're going to reflect when Sebastian went missing right here. Right here. Right there. We're reflecting on the things Monday night, July 28. We are going to be reflecting about a relationship with Sebastian, about the things that Nina had to say. We can't forget the things that she said. We can't undo and unhear how she described the relationship with Chris and his family and her daughter. Scary stuff, you know. There is going to be an investigation. There is going to be a wake-up call that is opposing Nina. It's going to oppose her connection that she has with Judge Blanton, with the DA, Whitley. The DA and the judge and Nina and Melissa have an 1808, and they're all in Leo. All of them. The investigation is going to come. Whoever the video, whoever is talking shit or whatever, there is an opposition with evidence, with the judge, with Melissa, and with Nina. At the 1808, things of the past, what was said, what has been done, but we can't unsee it. Sorry, can't unsee that. Can't, we just can't. When Sebastian went missing, Chiron was at that 1703. That 1808 is going to be coming into transit and in an opposition. Let's see if it starts in the house from the past. There it is. So it's about the past. It's in retrograde, so it's about the past anyway, but it is showing up here. And look at that. There's a future with Bryant Guy, with Bryant, with Big D, and Indiana. He has some type of connection with Indiana. I don't know what it is. I can't ask him. There's that 1614, though, that Trump and Sebastian have. There's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of warring energy. And now we are talking about the state of Tennessee. Another country has the 0050. I can't remember. But the state of Tennessee and children and education, that we're going to be talking about that Monday evening at 9:30. Oh, yeah. Jupiter's already expanded all the problems and the money and the things that, the values with Katie in the fourth house of home, with communications and the video, the ring cameras. And there's this justice that is coming to Kentucky about the landfill. Lots of disordered aggression with her and Chris Proudfoot and the groups, us, we the people, and it's fated. Her dark moon and Chris's come aparts on the YouTube streets with Clue and Cletus and all them, all of that is fated with Eric Craddock. With Eric Craddock. No doubt about it. And this is the day that he is weighted down. Eric Craddock is just going to be weighted. So is the United States. So is Trump. The courts are going to be opposed. Come on, TBI. Do your thing. That's all I can say. Do your thing, TBI, because there could definitely be some corruption. And if there is any corruption, and if the TBI isn't in on it, it should start to produce itself. And by the end of July into August, because I don't think that the TBI is really going to play. But I don't know that they aren't bought, paid for. Then we're going to see the FBI, Terry Bowersox, with some warring, and there's going to be limits and obstacles with groups, with Katie. It ain't going away. And then remember that 757 that was in transit when Sebastian went missing with Cupid in Capricorn? It's coming back. It's going to come right back to that 757 that either John or one of them have. And we are going to be reflecting on the authority that took Sebastian on August 5th, we're going to be reflecting that time period. Sure enough, going to be reflecting it because the sun is going to shine on that connection that Chris, Eric, and Katie have. But the sun is actually going to be shining on the children and education and in opposition with Chris. Chris is going to be opposed as the sun makes its way and opposes him in groups. That would be us, we the people. We are groups. We are those people. And then there's going to be this relationship like Miss Betty in Georgia that's going to probably reignite at the same time. That's August 5th. So I think that's enough for me today. I think that's enough for y'all. I've been talking. Don't even know if anybody is still in here. Hey, Seth. Enjoying the weather? Yeah. Oh, definitely. I accidentally locked Jeff out. So it was pouring down rain and he's outside going, why is the door locked? Sorry. Sorry. I don't know if you've heard all of this mumbo jumbo, but I've been talking a lot about the things that are coming for Sebastian, Chris, and Katie, and the law enforcement, the TBI, FBI, all that good jazzy junk, and just keep hoping that one of these days that this transitory energy is going to show itself in a beautiful way instead of just online where we are the only ones. I mean, I know that the TBI, I know that Craddock and all of them are, you know, I can see them in the transit, so I know that they are listening. But look, I want to show you something. This is the day, right? We're going to go back to those desires on August 5th with Sebastian, and then with this opposition with Chris, right? But then we're also going to see the physician come back. The physician, Apollo, is no longer in retrograde about things of the past. Now Apollo is going to come and bring enlightenment. The physician about the investigation to Eric Craddock and to Faith. That's coming on the 6th. So on the 6th, let's see when it comes right to it. Let's see when it comes right. Oh, it's going to be faded with the transformation with Chris. Okay, I love it. Can't wait to experience this. There's the dark moon with the disordered aggression with Eric Craddock, reigniting of a flame with Virginia and other places. But I always think Virginia when I see that 1511 could be other places. Wake up call for the investigation with Mr. Daddy, Michael Proudfoot. Limits and obstacles with Katie. And the groups are us. Lots of warring with Mr. Bowersock, Snaggletooth, and the FBI. Oh, Uranus is going to come to that 107 with Nina and 2 people. We know who those two people are. And look at that. South Carolina, me is going to come back into transit. There's the 757. Wow. So they are in an opposition. Venus, the values of home, of family, land, authority, the home camera. 422. And the sun is going to shine at that 1448. That's just bringing a big old weight to Eric Craddock and his past work. Things from the past work. Oh, but Chris, the fate is upon him on the 6th as well. I'm sure I'm missing something, but then his mama's going to blow up again. She's going to have a come apart. On August 9th. On August 9th. August 9th, that is when the true fate of the transformation with Chris Proudfoot, it will take place. And she is going to have a come apart. Could it be about her darling granddaughter? I don't know. But I do hope that whatever it is that I'm seeing with Apollo and Faith is, because it's a big weight for her. You know, Apollo is going to maintain itself again beginning August 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and finally leave her on the 10th. But y'all, that connection that she has with Apollo, the weight of home, is the Jupiter, the law, the justice, with Eric Craddock. And there's a disordered aggression with her husband about the investigation. On the 10th, when the physician leaves Faith finally. And we're going to be reflecting on Melissa and her connection with the FBI right here. Sure enough. Sure enough. And then Jupiter is going to expand. Ooh, Jupiter's going to come and expand that pain that Katie has right here. August 10th is not a good day for Katie. For her mother-in-law, for her husband. If they're husband and wife on that day, I don't know, because it looks like they could be going through a little little breakup. Disordered aggression with the movement of Sebastian, with the vehicle, with the body, with the investigation of where is Sebastian. Yeah. Oh, but man, this pain that she has, there's the values of, again, now Chiron has moved in retrograde, and now Chiron is back at the values of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and where he traveled to. The communications with Katie, it's about the Ring camera. It's about two people. It's about Virginia. Virginia has this 110. There's going to be a shakeup in Virginia. Michael Proudfoot has a General Proudfoot Jr. Well, they're in Virginia too. This is also a transformation with groups with Summer Wells. And that is where I'm going to leave this on August 10th. And see how all these energies that I've talked about, is going to come into fruition, and how it's going to show up in the outer world with us. Series is going to be intense from the past. At a 1647, let me say this because this must be interesting. This must be important. 1647. Let me go back. I saw that. I saw that somewhere else, but I don't remember. The guy that took the grainy video, that camera, that's where he is going to be pained. There's things that are just going to keep having to cycle. And hopefully one of these cycles, one of these is going to show more clues about where I can find Sebastian. And that's my goal. Where's Sebastian? I hope you have a great rest of the day, y'all. You're so welcome, D Green. You're so welcome. Thank you for listening and trying to understand what I'm doing here. Yeah, prayers for Jeff, for sure. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. But then again, I can. I mean, I can because it's a habit of me locking the back door. It was bad. But anyway, I hope you guys learned some things. I mean, I've only been on talking for 3.5 hours, but I've had a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about, not just with Sebastian's case, but with the world. Today is a big day for the state of Tennessee and pride. I know that. We'll have to keep an eye on the earthquakes and things that are taking place around the world. I don't know how this is going to work itself out with the state of Tennessee today with all the problems that they are going to have with the march, the pride, but we're going to see it. Colorado has just had a 3.7. Like I said, I'm going to be watching USGS because y'all, this is a prime time for us to be quaking after such solar wind. It really is. I mean, it's big. We've had a lot of strong winds buffering our magnetic field. Hold on. Buffering the magnetic field. So it doesn't surprise me that we would have a lot of interference with the magnetic field. I'll look at that. Colorado, they'll be in transit in just a few days. Me and another person share this connection, and so does the past investigator, Heather. She shares the same degree that I have with my Jupiter. It's with Colorado. This 353. No matter what time she is born, the 353 is our connection to Colorado. I've not been to Colorado yet. Don't know she has. The Colorado is definitely connected to the FBI and the United States as a whole. It's big connection. Look at that. Look at that. Colorado, the state of Tennessee connects to Colorado here in the 11th house of groups and how they bring in money with education. Don't you think that I've looked in Colorado for Sebastian? Oh, God, yeah. Because not only does Colorado have 1319 that goes to the state of Tennessee in the United States, but that 537 that was in an opposition with Tennessee and the communications, well, there it is. Mercury was at this 537, wasn't it? It sure was. The values of Sebastian that are pained with his father, with authority, is going to Colorado. The 0021 is the Pluto of Sebastian, and that Pluto in Capricorn actually on his map goes into Colorado. It's not out of the question. That if Sebastian is somewhere, it could be Colorado. I mean, he could be anywhere. Jesus, he's been to so many places. But this is one of those states that I definitely have looked in, trying to figure out where the boy is, because we need to find him. Right? So Colorado just had a earthquake. Let's see. It was a 3.7. Weston, Colorado. So the flame of life, the 608, the flame of life, the 606, Scorpio, they have a lot of energy here with values and the government. There's a justice here with other people's money, what they hold of value. at a 606. And of course, this 606 also goes to the U.S. Marshals. Also goes to the U.S. Marshals. So that was in transit with Vesta. What else? Disordered aggression. Well, there's a lot of disordered aggression with Chris. There's a lot of divine justice with Katie today about her problems with her values. Her values are problematic. The 350, that is, of course, Sebastian in Tennessee. And there is a public image now with the state of Tennessee and this opposition that has taken place at home right now. Excuse me. Vesta is at a 608, and Vesta's coming here, even though it's not the same sign. Where's the Hades? Hades is at a 1409 in Cancer. It's coming to Colorado. Hades is over their values and their public image all day. All day. Hades at a 1409, their values, their public image, their home, their agencies, their governing bodies is weighted down. Their lunar nodes of fate are at 2202. That was in transit this morning, and now the lunar nodes have moved off to a 2201 Nashville time. So there's a fate with things of the past and the health, the everyday. And I'm thinking working with cannabis. I don't know, but because that's what I think about with Colorado. Ocean endings, things that are taking place here. Neptune is something we have to dissolve to see clearly. We can't see clearly here, so we have to dissolve their north node, where they're going. And the north node has just crossed over their own north node. So they did have an earthquake. Could they have another one? Of course they could, because Hades, the weight of home, is over them all day long. All day. I don't know if they are having any type of Pride Day today. I don't know. 29, 35, 23. Okay, so Venus is going to come here. Venus is on her way here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration to this 2430. So Venus, the personal planet, is going to come over and sit here later with the earth, the values. And then the weight, that weight of Hades at a 1409 is going to transfer to the 1410 here. Lots of warring, hospitals, prisons, things of that nature. So where's the... Mars is in Virgo, so Mars is actually right here. Once Mars moved over that 537 with the state of Tennessee and the communications, it moves here to things of the past, what's taken place in the past with Colorado. Okay, now I'm for real going to leave it at that. I swear I am. I'm done. I can't take it no more. My head is exploding with information. Japan is still quaking. Indonesia, Mexico. I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. And I will talk to you guys soon. I appreciate it again, really.
Clean like your soul, won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up.